Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate y'all for checking with me. Y'all already know what it is. We back with another one of them things. Tonight is a great discussion. You know, obviously, Brandon Miller, the number 2 overall pick, was on Podcast P. We all know Paul George's lovely show, Podcast. Paul George is actually one of the guys in the NBA who's, you know, taking the initiative and moving the game forward. You know, with his podcast, a lot of players wasn't really doing it at the level that he was doing it. You seen Tyreek Hill in the NFL and things of that nature. It seemed like Paul George is taking this thing to a new level. You clearly see that it's not just some money grab here. He's got a passion for podcasting, and he put on an electrifying interview with a guy who pretty much looks up to him, idolizes him, you know, basically modeled his game after him. And I love the bond, you know, that was had and shared between the two. We all know the level of the kind of player and caliber of a player Paul George is when he's right, you know. And if the Charlotte Hornets is getting a guy with just a little inkling of trying to be that kind of player, I think Lamelo Ball would benefit tenfold. The Charlotte Hornets are on the rise, and they are on the rise because they have a player in Lamelo, and they're putting him surrounded by so much weaponry. And obviously, this guy, Brandon Miller, is going to be a key catalyst in getting the Charlotte Hornets back to the promised land where they so deserve to be. It's been a long time coming, but I believe that things are moving in the right direction. And now it's up to LaMelo as well, the task with this weaponry, which I believe he will maximize to its fullest potential. And also in this exchange between obviously a veteran and a rookie, is going to be a brotherhood there. Paul George is extended his hand. They have each other's numbers. They're going to be exchanging ideas, and he's going to be able to lean on Paul George. Paul George is going to take him under his wing. Paul George mentioned something back in his earlier days. Kobe Bryant taking Paul George under his wing on his way out, and Paul George saying he's going to be doing the same thing with Brandon Miller. And I think that Charlotte Hornets fans and LaMelo Ball fans should be excited that they have a player on the team that is attracting superstar looks. And you're going to have superstars monitoring the Charlotte Hornets, specifically Brandon Miller. It is only going to benefit LaMelo Ball when you have a guy that's striving for greatness in his own route. So without further ado, we're going to get things started, man. Make sure you hit the like button if you're new. Most definitely hit the subscribe button. It's Flight Sports TV. Shout out to Thunder, Slim Can Hoop, Rap Guy Reloaded, Chuck Morris, all y'all in the chat, Byron Parker, my man DJ Gemini. Salute to all y'all. It's time to get rocking and rolling. Listen, I got my man All Access in the building. Dex, talk to the people. We live.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Flight Sports TV, the machine, the voice of the voiceless, the people's champ, the hottest in these streets. Shout out to the panel as it reaches premium peak. Shout out to the chat and all of this cacophony spewing from the cracks and crevices of Flight Sports Block. And listen, I cannot big up enough to everybody coming into Flight Sports TV and parking however you want to park on the street. You won't get a ticket. And if you happen to get fined of any sort, listen, we cover all costs. Big ups to you. And like I said, without you, the people, there can never be what we have here. But your job is not done after you park your car and it's valeted. You got one more process, and that is to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss one iota of an exuberant experience. And listen, let's thank Flight. I mean, in all humility, let's thank Flight for inviting us to a front row seat to witness this live, in color, in 3D, up close and personal extravaganza here at Flight Sports TV. Flight Brandon Miller is making his rounds. And when you see a young man like this making his rounds on the alternative media circuit, it's a good thing because he's getting exposed to people who probably would not have known of him if it wasn't for these media outlets like yourself. And the source of the telemetry of the beginning of this young man's journey into the NBA is being espoused on such platforms like Pandemic P, Podcast P, Playoff P, Paul George, PG-13, whatever moniker he goes by. It's a good thing because they believe that this guy is the truth. They believe this guy is an answer. He might not be the answer, but he's an answer. And he's going to be plugged in and playing with our boy, the 260 man, Lamelo LaFrance Ball, who just published a flurry of pictures for the world to see, exposing aspects of his lifestyle and his love for his dog and showcasing his brand, you know, which he should do. He should be the biggest model in his brand. He should be the walking billboard. We know LaMelo Ball got tens of millions of followers on Twitter, and we're not even counting Instagram. So by this young man, Brandon Miller, being inserted and integrated in the world of the Beehive, in the Charlotte Hornet mass hysteria that caused some kind of separation or gap or chasm based on their yearning for another superstar to be paired with LaMelo Ball, coming fresh out of the dungeon of the D League, or excuse me, not the D League. I take that back. They don't want to call it D League no more. They don't like the word development because it seemed kind of slow. It seemed kind of in the form of retardation or arrested development. So they don't want to use that. They want to call it the G League, even though really ain't no G's in there. But nevertheless, we'll go with that. G stand for growth. Now, Brandon Miller Flight is coming into his own. And I warned the people that once Summer League starts and Brandon Miller have an outstanding game, they will shut him down. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. What I propose that maybe they need to insert a new aspect of the CBA, collective bargain agreement, that the first 10 draftees must play at least 3 summer league games. It's mandatory because they're actually robbing the people And these shutdowns are not forewarned. And that should be also part of the mandate. They need to insert a moratorium on shutting these top 10 players down too soon. Now, if injuries involved, then that's a whole different story. But if no injuries and they can't prove that there's an injury, these new draftees need to be accommodated with at least 3 games during the summer league. Now, the only reason why I proposed 3 games flight, because even though we saw Victor, we saw Scoop, we saw the Amen twins, excuse me, we saw the Thompson twins, and we seen Brandon Miller, albeit one twin and Scoop got injured. So, okay, we good with that. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to force labor on injured players. But at the same time, those players that's not injured, they should play because these dumbass owners are crying and bitching about low management. At least that's what they portray to the media. And then the media run with it because they're going to run with the oligarchs. They're going to run with the gatekeepers. They're going to run with the governors before they run with the players. And that's obvious. And they try to put this onus on the players while washing their hands when they are the ones who are initiating these sit downs, these shutdowns. And it's not fair to the fans. And then they put it on the players. And the players are too dumb and too weak and too Negro to speak out on it. The only player that ever spoke out on it was CJ McCullough. He the one came with the truth. I ain't never heard no player speak on load management aspect more clear than CJ McCullough. Like, so with Brandon Miller being showcased on these various podcasts, and one of the biggest is Podcast P, he's putting them out there for the world to see. So Charlotte, don't you do the dumb shit and start sitting these young men down too soon, too often.
Good call, Dex. I mean, like I said, very insightful. I want to appreciate everybody for tuning in with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Flight Sports TV. You already know what it is. We got a lot of things going on. If you want to show your appreciation for all the hard work, all the content that's being provided day in and day out, night in and night out, make sure you definitely feel free to support us, ladies and gentlemen. Support us in the Cash App, the PayPal, the Super Chat. We definitely would like to, definitely acknowledge the people. We want to appreciate all your support. Listen, I got my man Uncle Vern in the building. I got my man DJ Gemini. Um, what's the deal? It's Flight Sports. All the links is pinned in the chat as well. We got Uncle Vern, the legend. What's the deal? Shout out to DJ Gemini. What up? Shout out to the 504. Gemini was in here first. What's the deal?
Go ahead, Gemini.
Well, I'm happy for 2 reasons. When this young man was going through the draft, I bought up Tracy McGrady. I bought up Tracy McGrady specifically if he wanted to learn how to be a guard and work on his conditioning. That is before I knew who his idol was, which is PG-13. I have no problems with that. So with this right here, I love the connection. I love the tag team, but we also have to realize PG-13 is still in the NBA. Tracy McGrady could be more accessed at any time, even though he is a future Hall of Famer at this point. So to have tutelage, especially from Paul George, I love it. I think he also needs the addition of Tracy McGrady too, because they are big guards, and both of them was athletic and dynamic, especially PG-13 before his injury. And he can also give him the assistance of mindset of mental health recovery if that ever happens. Not hoping it or wishing it upon him, but can also help him through that hump and dilemma.
Good call, Gemini. Um, I like the partnership going on right here. Anytime you got a guy, a superstar in Paul George, obviously people are gonna view him how they want to view him. We got to remember anybody that's living under a rock. Paul George is a career 20-point per game scorer. And listen, he's just coming off 23 points per game. He shot 45% from the field, 37% from three, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. In the steal, we got to remember he played both ends, y'all. He's been dealing with some, some injuries that has held him back. But Paul George back in Indiana was just electric, and I think that's something that Brandon Miller kept gravitating to. That was his favorite version. I think that if Miller is trying to replicate his game after Paul George, is a benefit to the Charlotte Hornets and Lamelo Ball. We're gonna get all into it. Uncle Vern, what's your thoughts on what's going on with this situation? Well, Uncle Vern will be back with us. He got a lot of things going on.
I
But
dig it.
go ahead, Paul.
If I may be so humble to add, not only was Paul George a two-way player, if you actually go back and check his stats for his rookie year, Paul George averaged 8 points because he was
Yeah,
behind Danny
Paul.
Granger.
Yeah, Paul George. Yeah, I was gonna say that he averaged 7 points in his rookie year back in 2010-11 season. He played in 61 games. He played 20 minutes in his rookie year. He shot 45% from the field and 29% from three. And he was a lot. He was going to the rim a lot.
Right.
His rookie year. I mean, I don't think he established the shooting ability just yet. He was a guy that was attacking the basket. But you are right. Danny Granger was a problem. I don't know if people been living under a rock. I remember, man. Granger was one of my favorite players when he was Danny Granger. I don't think people remember because we talk about all these players. We forget about the guys like that, the low key dudes, and that dude was a problem. Injuries got in the way, but he was the face of Indiana. Paul George came and uprooted that shit.
You right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
You
did.
got it,
Paul
Uncle V.
George shit wasn't supposed to happen. That was supposed to be Granger team.
Yeah. But like you say, the injuries got in the way. What made it definitely was the injuries. So you got to keep it to the fact because if he didn't have them injuries like that, Paul George would have been second fiddle.
Yeah, if he was healthy, if Granger would have stayed 100% healthy, yeah, I don't think he would have been put in a position to be the number one option.
No, because Granger had to go on. He just got, like I said, even with the age, with his age, time being in the NBA, he still, when it came down to it, it was just some injuries that separated him as his abilities from Paul George. Because we already knew he had it in him, but it just wasn't like it used to be. But if he still had it in him, Granger would be getting Paul George the business door, and Paul George door too, to be honest with you, because it wasn't easy for Paul George to get that spot up out of him. Yeah, I remember that. In Indiana, that's when they had Reggie. What's his name? Reggie Miller. Yeah, he came in about that same time too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. No, matter of fact, Reggie Miller was already there way before Paul George got there because that's when they started getting good. Right.
Yo, Reggie Miller, you talking about a whole nother generation.
No, wasn't Reggie Miller there when what's his name was there when Paul George was there?
Nah.
When he was there with Danny Granger. He wasn't there when Danny Granger was there then?
Nah.
Okay, all right, bet.
I know maybe somebody got to remind me, but
okay. So. Maybe I am mistaken because I thought all three of them played together because they all was there on the same team at the same time. That's what I was thinking. I don't know.
Because that was after the Davis boys.
Oh, okay.
The Davis, no relation. The power forwards.
Well, I remember
they ran. Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was after their time frame. They stint, I should say.
Oh, okay. Granger and them didn't come in until after they was gone. Then.
Right.
Got you. All right, I was mistaken. And yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you, Gemini.
So, how do you think this could benefit Lamelo Ball?
Oh man, I don't know if far as benefiting the better ball, everything that got something to do with Charlotte Hornets can benefit the better ball, anything positive anyway. And that's good. That's growth and development. So that's already that's known when he coming into the practice facility and they start practicing he already got a name and he got an understanding of what it is he's trying to acquire. So really, it won't be nothing or anyone in this way and try to make him acquire those things. It's like I'm gonna put it like this: a lot of people be doing with Kobe a lot. Even you get what's his name, Kyrie Irving and the rest of them. They go after Kobe. They always, that Mamba mentality type thing. It ain't nothing to have your favorite player. You understand me? And you want to live up to that. So you ain't gonna be pulling no book nights, nothing like that. You ain't gonna have no nights like book night. No pause. But yeah, you ain't gonna be having no kind of nights. They're not gonna be questionable because his idol wasn't questionable. So the nights he was having wasn't questionable. Actually, it was guaranteed. So yeah, I should see him. I see him being a success just like his goal. Yeah, I can see that.
But it will help Lamelo. It will help and it will help Lamelo because it will help him develop into it. It'll help him catch his peak quicker, I should say, because he's getting tutelage from a player that has the same dimensions of himself. But
Uh,
when PG-13 first came in, he was a rim attacker. He didn't develop his J to after his rookie year. Where Miller already has the J, he got to get used to attacking the rim, and that's easy to add to your repertoire.
I
I
agree.
feel
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what you just said. I agree with all that. Right. It's, and yes, and yes, it will. That will help not just Melo. Like I said, it helped the whole team. But yeah, that'll help Melo a lot. Somebody to know what they're doing. They need leaders out there. They need, you know what I'm saying? They need some veterans. They need some people out there that at least play like they veterans, at least play like they know what they're doing. And they don't have that. They lack that a lot. So it won't be no problem for him to be on the court. It ain't actually, yeah, he's going to be on the court. He's needed on the court. So no, yeah, he's going to be there. So he's going to be a big help to Melo because he needs somebody on the court with him that act like they know what they're doing.
because Uncle Vern, if you honestly remember, Paul George at first was the small forward. In order to make time for both of them, Paul George had to learn how to be the shooting guard. He had
Right.
to learn how to be a shooting guard.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I know Granger's jump shot was better than his.
Well, not just that. It was Granger team at that point in time, so it can help him like in that aspect of just because you not the number one, don't take offense to it. Don't um stay stagnant on your game. Keep developing your game.
Right. Right. I agree. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like Flight said, it will at the end of the day help LaMelo Ball and Bridges with what they're doing.
Right. Yeah.
Fast breaks will be nasty. That's all I'm saying.
Who gonna be leading them?
I mean, Lamelo will be leading them. I mean, but if you look at it, you will have this the speed and the option of Miller at the three or mid range, and then you're gonna have Bridges coming back, who was turning into a highlight reel on the fast break.
Right.
So it won't be so congested within the lane because now you do have your shooter that will drift back as a option, and then you have Bridges and Lamelo still to attack, or Miller will attack and Bridges will stand back for the open jumper, not the three, but more the open jumper.
Yeah.
So it'll be a balanced attack. I'm 1 through 3, I'm not concerned about Charlotte. I'm just worried about 4 and 5. Their 4 and 5 position, I'm a little confused on what they're thinking.
Yeah, I think they're confused also because they don't know what they're gonna do with PJ Washington. And I'm like, when Flight was talking yesterday, they might turn around and re-sign him just on the strength that they ain't got no other choice.
But I don't think he's going to get that 20 mil a season that he think he's going to get, because now he see the market value.
Yeah,
Where he had his market value is the league don't have his market value like that. And it's not saying nothing about PJ. I really don't have no dog on the fight about PJ. But as far as him just demanding that price tag,
yeah,
I mean, even Brooks had to go to a team that wasn't even one that he picked in order to get that money. So it's the same type of scenario.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree.
Man, the Charlotte Hornets gonna be a good team this year. In my opinion, I think they're actually gonna win. They set up the best 2-win ever since Lamelo got there. Now they just got to put all
Okay.
the pieces
We,
to the
we got
puzzle.
to record that. Make sure y'all timestamp that. Like I said, Charlotte's going to win. Listen,
I'm
the
concerned.
part,
Like,
let the time
I
part
didn't
of
say
the
win the championship. I said they're
well,
gonna win.
well, then you need to be specific about what you mean by winning.
Well, I
You
mean,
talking about
winning.
winning to be a playing team or having a winning
Yeah,
record?
I think they're gonna be in that playing scenario. They're gonna get back
Oh,
to where
okay.
they was at.
Okay, I got you.
That's what I believe.
I mean, if Thornton, is it Thor or Thornton, can
It's Thor.
Thor, if he can develop into the 4 that they had envisioned him to,
Don't count on it.
I think that will help them. But I still think they're weak at the 5 position. I'm sorry.
I think JT Thor is still attached to the team based on the name JT Thor. Because when you look at a roster and you see a person named JT Thor, you're gonna be like, oh shit, we're in a world of trouble. You know what I'm saying? But once they see him play, and they were like, that's Thor. Not only he's the opposite of Thor in color, he's the opposite of Thor in power as well.
Wow, wow, wow.
I see you are easily impressed, huh, Deck?
Not by JT Thor, that's for sure.
Okay, I hear you. It's the NBA, Dex. Your name really don't mean nothing.
We listen. We seen JT. We seen a whole lot of JT Thor. That's the
Yeah,
only reason why I can make this assessment based on being a trained observer in basketball.
yeah,
JT Thor, we saw him in the summer league, we saw him in the G League, and we saw him on the Charlotte Hornet roster. Now in the G League, he did have some pretty good games, but once he got called up to the main roster, all that disappeared.
yeah,
And I never seen a guy with so low level of production having a major green light on one of the deplorable teams in the NBA. And when I mean deplorable, I'm talking about minus Miles, minus Lamelo, the Charlotte Hornets.
I
And he
see.
had a green light.
Yeah, I
Wherever he
see.
touched the ball, he shot the ball.
Yeah,
Never saw a shot he didn't like,
right.
but his
Oh
percentage
wow.
is low.
It's like you said. They impressed with his name instead of his game. Yeah, that's what it is. It seems like because I'm not really impressed with his game.
I mean, Williams will finish learning how to be a center. So I'm not. I have very few reservations about him. So right now, if I was to look at their lineup, I would. I'm just concerned on who they're going to start. I I'm sorry. I have
And to,
reservations on that.
right, I agree with you. And to further to extend what you're saying, Gemini, about PJ Washington, listen, it's not much to eat out there. The pickings is slim. You got Ayu DeSumo, you got Kendrick Nunn, George Hill, and John Wall, top free agents, and none of them plays the four. So most likely, it appears that PJ Washington will make his return as a 5-year senior on the Charlotte Hornets.
For $20 million?
No, he's not going to get that.
Oh, okay.
He's not going to get that nowhere.
Oh, okay.
No. 9 times out of 10, Uncle Vern, he's going to sign for the same thing Bridges just signed for. 9 times out of 10, same thing Bridges just signed for, which is damn near 10 mil.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I mean, he did. Listen, what PJ Washington did. See, this is what's so befuddling about PJ Washington and his agency. I don't know if his agent gassing him or is he gassing himself, and his agency is telling him it's you're looking at it wrong. I mean, the market scale is not adjusted for you to receive 20 million plus, not even 15 million, because Mr. Washington, I'm telling you, as your agent, you didn't do shit. Charlotte was one of the worst teams in the league. They only was ahead of Washington and Detroit, and I think Detroit by 1 game. So who is clamoring for your services? So you think teams are actually out there kicking, crawling, and scratching, trying to make something happen with you, and you led a team into the abyss? If I was you, I would hide my head saying that I was the face of Charlotte in the absence of Miles and Melo, and I led the team. No, you should push that on Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier, and not take credit of leading that team.
Well, that was the only reason why I bought up the guy that's trying to the other power forward right now that's undersized, but everyone says that he's a locker room issue. I bought him up because at least point wise and rebound wise, he can get those minutes and still put that same clip out there.
PJ Washington.
Well, would you? Hold on 1 second, Pope. Yeah, I hear you, Pope. Salute. Listen, DJ, you was into something, but would you please name the player that you talk about that was a locker room cancer?
Oh Lord, what can I call his boy name right now? Why can't I call his name right now? No, not JT Thor. I'm talking about shoot, he was just at Dallas, and he didn't get
Christian
re-signed.
Woods.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I knew you was talking about, but I wanted you to
I'm
to tell
sorry.
it to the screen. You know what I'm saying?
I was having a brain fart. Christian Woods, even in Detroit, the coach was telling him to gain weight at least to 230. Well, he had a problem with the coach. So that in Detroit he wasn't a locker room problem. In New Orleans he wasn't a locker room problem. He actually produced.
Detroit, was he a part of that playoff team? And he almost was a fringe all-star, but I think they gave that to Drummond, right?
Yes, Drummond got the nod, but then when he went to Houston actually told him the same thing. They wanted him at 230, so they was going to limit his minutes because he kept getting injured because he was getting out banged within the middle. He only weighs 215, so that's why it's so difficult for him to rebound and box out. But he does give you a good clip if he can get between 20 and 25 minutes a game. He does give you a good average.
Right.
16.7 and like 8 rebounds, but don't think it's going to be like power rebounds within that. So I don't want to give anybody the misconception on that.
Yeah, but see, the only thing about Christian, like you said, by him being a locker room cancer, a fungus among us, I don't want him around LaMelo. I don't think Lamelo really needs that as he's starting to chaperone his leadership amongst the younger core. And I'm talking about those outside of Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward. So
No,
he,
I think Bridges will
go
keep him in his lane, and that's the only reason why I'm cutting you off. I
ahead.
think Bridges will keep him in his lane. Real talk.
Shout out to Pope. Pope was good.
Hey, what's good, man? What's going on, Fly? What's going
What,
on, panel?
What's
what's
happening,
good?
baby?
What's your thoughts on this conversation?
Oh man, it's looking like the same old same. Honestly, when I'm looking at this roster, I see Terry Rozier. Is he gotten any better? He gonna look better than he did other years? I don't think
No.
so. Gordon Hayward, he looking any better? He gonna look better than he has. He got better than the prior years? I don't think so. You stuck around for Miles Bridges. Yeah, as you've seen that nobody in the NBA wanted to sign that dude, and I don't think it's just no off the court. If he was a hooper like a lot of y'all think he is, I like him. He a good player, but he not the player that you want to jump out the window paying over 20 million for. And so nobody would touch him. So he had to sign a $9 million deal, a prove it deal, because nobody in the NBA want to touch him. PJ Washington, same thing. Nobody want to get his dude even 16 million. This is the they only get numbers. I'm trying to told y'all because of Lamelo Ball, and the league know this. That's why none of the players that come go free agency from the Charlotte Hornets gets nothing from nobody else because they understand that you guys are trash without Lamelo Ball. Lamelo Ball is what makes y'all go. So we gotta, and then we draft this Miller kid who he's a role player. So he coming off the bench for guys like Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward and PJ Washington, and man, he can't even crack the starting lineup. So I guess they want Melo to work miracles. They feel like we gave you this 260 work miracles. We giving you the same team that you didn't been had since you was a rookie. And work it out, make it work. We gave you 260.
My only pushback to that is this. I think that Miller can develop. The problem is the price tag of Haywood, and that's the only reason why Haywood will get the start over Miller. As far as that price tag of 30 million is still hard to
Mm,
look over. So
Gemini, you jumping out the window.
You said
no,
you saying because you think because Gordon Hayward is getting 30 million, they wouldn't allow Miller to start over him, even if he was
yeah,
clearly better.
yeah,
Nah,
I don't think they'll bench him. I don't think they'll bench him because already Haywood is the complexion they need for that fan base.
let me
So
let me let me learn you something
plus
though,
the
just
30
real quick.
mil,
Did they bench Russell Westbrook, who was getting paid 47 million? Did they bench his ass? They sure benched his ass. You got somebody else to replace a nigga
Yeah,
who was very important.
but
it's
Pope,
a different
I'm with you.
Hold on,
It's a
No, no,
different
because
no, hold on.
organization,
I'm with you.
it
Hold on,
don't matter.
guys.
Hold on,
Listen,
let me finish
I'm
this
with
up
you, but
because hold on.
you cannot insert the Lakers in this. That's where
No,
you
no, hold
upset.
on. Time out though. Time out. It
You
don't
cannot
matter
insert
about
the
because
Lakers
this
in
is
this.
the
Yeah,
difference.
it
But
does.
y'all don't.
Yeah, it
It's
does.
the difference when you
It's a
on
let
whole
them
difference.
talk.
The
expiring
Let
dynamic
them
is
contract.
talk.
different.
Let him talk. Let him talk, Dex. Let him talk.
When you on expiring contract, the team and they already basically know your future with the organization if they're gonna re-sign you, not re-sign you, so they can give two shits when you on your last year of your expiring contract if you starting or not. If you got a replacement and you pick the guy at number two. Okay, that's a very big deal. You pick the guy at number two, okay, and you got a guy who got an expiring contract. If that number two pick is clearly outplaying your expiring contract guy who you don't plan on re-signing, you're not gonna have him starting over the clear talent. That's just not happening.
Okay, Poke, here's my pushback to that. The other problem that Charlotte has, and just like I said, I only started following Charlotte because Flight and you all bring them up. Now, the other problem is book night contract. Book Knight is getting more look, more time, and the only reason why they're keeping him a part of the active roster is because of his contract, which is the same reason why his replacement is already there, which is Smith. So, I mean, that's the same type of situation, big brother. Just that
Right.
one was picked higher than the other one. It's the same type
Both
of
of you guys are off a
situation.
little bit.
So do you
Not too
think
far
He
off.
is off. He is off when
Both of
it comes
y'all
to
are off.
Westbrook. He is off when it comes to Westbrook because
no, no.
Westbrook also turned into a locker room problem, and he was
Exactly.
staggering the offense, and
That's
and
true.
he does not concentrate on defense. So when you brought up
So
Westbrook,
what do you think Gordon
that's a bad
does?
metaphor.
That's the same thing Gordon Hayward does. He stagnates
I
the
don't
offense.
But he's not
disagree
a
He's a
with
locker room problem,
liability
though,
on
Pope.
defense. All of that you just said, and I
but
don't
he's not a
agree with.
locker room problem,
I think
Pope.
you're
Well,
being
I don't agree
extremist
with
when
it.
it comes
I
to
don't agree
saying.
with Westbrook was a locker room problem.
He
Oh,
was
what?
a locker room problem.
No, I don't
His
agree.
daddy had no Pope, please. His daddy had to call him to tell him
I'm
to
a Laker
straighten up his
fan,
ass.
doc. I'm a Laker fan,
Now,
doc.
And I know this for
I'm a
a
listen,
Laker
fact.
as
fan.
far I'm talking
This dude,
about as
Coach Westbrook,
he had a
had to
problem
call
with the
Russell Westbrook.
organization.
Don't say he wasn't a locker room problem,
Man,
please.
he
Don't say
wasn't
that.
a locker room problem. He had a
Oh
problem
my
with the
God.
front
Are you kidding
office.
me?
The
Are
front
you
office
kidding
ain't
me?
in the locker room. Hey, listen, time out.
Is
This is
Darvin
what he
Ham
had a
in the locker
problem with.
room? No,
He
no,
had
you
a
time out. Is Darvin Ham in the locker room?
no, he's not.
Okay.
The players are in the locker room. Darvin Ham got his
Okay.
own
Go ahead.
office. It
All
ain't
right, go ahead.
it ain't in the locker room.
All right, go ahead.
He got his
Pope,
own office. You're gonna have to go upstairs and go to his office. His
Pope,
office ain't in the locker room, homie.
Okay.
Pope.
So
The man had an argument with Darvin Ham right on courtside.
that's what I
Exactly.
mean. It's not
Okay.
it's
Go ahead,
because of
Pope.
the coaching,
Continue.
bro. It's not the player didn't like him, like he had it and he was into it with the players and that's the locker room. He had a problem with the front office trying to trade him and so on and so forth, really kind of putting smut on his name.
That
That's what
turned
he had
into
a
locker
problem
room
with.
problem because he couldn't contain himself. He
Have
let his
have Westbrook
petulance.
ever been
Listen,
so how long has Westbrook been in the
I'm
league?
telling you something that I know. I'm not just
He's a locker
throwing
room
something in the
problem,
air.
Pope.
His
How long
daddy
has
had to
Westbrook
talk
been
to
in the
him.
league? Has he ever been considered a
That's
locker room
irrelevant.
problem?
He was considered a locker room problem in Houston, big brother.
Okay,
Honestly, he was no, not OKC. He
Oh,
was considered a locker room problem
I
in
don't.
Houston.
Okay. All
I
right.
He
won't.
ain't been no
I
locker
won't
room
lie on
problem,
that.
no Houston. The man asked to leave when Harden asked to leave.
He
no,
sure
listen.
he wasn't a
Let's not
problem in
let's not
Houston. He
let's
wasn't a
not throw it in
problem.
a tangent.
He
Let's
ain't
keep it
never
on
been
the
a
Lakers.
problem.
He was a
Everybody who's
locker room
played
problem.
with
Hey,
Westbrook.
let him talk.
Even Paul George just say this now. Like I've been watching the video. He been describing Russell in the Clippers locker room. He said he changed the culture. He changed
For
how he
sure, bro.
impact the mentality of the team. He said
Yeah.
That's the
he's a
Clippers. We
straight up
talking
him. He's
Lakers.
100%
No, it
him.
don't matter. He didn't
Nobody
have a
got a problem
problem
It
with
with the
does
Russell.
Lakers
matter.
players.
Only
We ain't
problem he
talking just
come up with.
players. We talking locker room
That's the
problems.
locker room. The locker
Christian
room is
Wood don't
not
have
close
problem
knit.
with
The locker
players.
room is not
He have
No,
problem with
okay.
starting and minutes
If
and stuff like that. Has nothing to do with players.
it was
But it could resonate.
it
His
really
attitude in the
wasn't
locker
there,
room could
bro.
man.
It
resonate.
That's
was
But
the fact that
okay, but hold on, Pope. Honestly, index. It started being he turned into the same
I
thing
knew
in
he was a locker room
Houston
problem already. I already know.
because with him taking those bad shots, other players was complaining because they know those are not his shots, and he was still trying to take them. So that is where he developed into a locker room problem, Pope. I point that out only because he
Regardless how
was
he
the one
developed
who did
into
that.
one, I know he was one, and his daddy
man.
had to call him.
Yes, he
Coach
was
Westbrook had to
one.
You
call him.
can't find no one player he ever played with that say that. But
No,
y'all
no
saying they
panic.
leave a
You don't
locker
have
room
no
problem.
information,
correct.
so you just out here
Correct. No, that's
spewing
very
shit out
true.
your ass.
Every player, bro, that's played with Westbrook and spoke on Westbrook, there's a bunch of them, especially during the time when the media was trying to trash him. This is why he had a problem with the Lakers, because the Lakers was also trashing him too, basically, through that time when they didn't really want to they didn't want him to sign his player option. And they the whole time after the trade deadline, they didn't
They
move him
don't.
last year, not I mean the year before last. So
Most teams don't want
no, man,
you to
that's not
sign
a
your
lock.
player option.
You can't label a guy something that he's
I'm only
not
telling you
because he had a
something that I
problem
know for
with.
sure.
No, can I
Your
finish
daddy
my?
ain't
Can I
gonna
finish,
call you.
Dex? Can I finish?
Listen,
Can I
your daddy
finish?
ain't gonna
Can I
call
finish my
you
thought?
to tell you to
Can I finish my
simmer
thought? We
down
both can't speak
and
at the
work
same
out your
time, brother.
contract.
I'm just saying. I mean, my
Let him
goodness, you
talk,
can't
Dex.
label a
Let
guy
him
a
talk,
locker room.
Dex.
You can't label a guy a locker room problem when he's been to about 3-4 different teams. He ain't never been labeled a locker room problem. And you see clearly it was the front office that was the way they was handling his trade and all of that was messy as shit. And the way that Darvin Ham came in and basically set him on the bench, whatever the case may be, because of whatever it was before he even got there. That's, of course, anybody in Westbrook position would have a problem with that. I mean, I'm just saying.
And that's like this.
Okay, you said you had a problem with it, and I agree. He had a problem with it.
Of Russ right here. When Russ been at OKC, he give that franchise everything. They ain't him in the locker room problem there. They send him to where he want to go at, which is Houston. Houston, he ain't had no problem because they send him where he wanted to go at again in Washington. Because he tell Houston, I want to go somewhere where I can be me, which was Washington, because Bill been in and out throughout the season, and he been like, shit, I can take that team.
No panic. That's not why he left Houston. That is not why he left Houston.
He left Houston because Harden asked to be traded.
Why? No,
because
that's
Harden
not why he
asked
left
to be
Houston.
traded.
I don't even care about Houston and all that. I'm talking about with the Lakers.
Dex. No panic. The reason why, and I will fully educate you on that. The reason why Houston and Harden and Westbrook separated is because of what the owner of the Houston Rockets said. He's a Canadian, and he is now the owner of Copeland's. He said something that was very derogatory, and he was a extreme supporter of Trump, and that's what made Harden and Westbrook say we want up out here. So if you didn't know that,
my
God,
the reason why that sounds crazy, because remember Maury had said that shit about China. So if he said something about China that been derogatory or
it didn't have nothing to do with China.
Why wouldn't they want to
have nothing to do with
China?
No panic.
That's Maury and LeBron James. That was that issue.
What I'm saying is, if you saying that
something
Harden
about
and you saying that Harden and Westbrook wanted to leave because
they wanted out of there because of what the owner said.
Okay, so so what I'm saying is, NBA players benefit more from Chinese dollars than Canadian dollars. So
they didn't say nothing about China.
Hold on. So if they was what I'm saying is, what you're saying.
Why you guys go on tangents? Y'all niggas just be drifting. You can't stay on one topic.
Dex,
the topic was the Lakers.
You don't let nobody speak. So when you say
who cares? But you speaking bullshit.
All right. So
who wants to hear that?
So my point is, when he been in Houston, he wasn't a locker room problem. He only left Houston because James Harden wanted out. That's
not why he left. That's a bald-faced lie.
Why we on Houston?
That's a bald-faced lie. Both of them wanted out
because you hold on real quick. Because Dex, you trying to argue he been a locker room problem, and what I'm telling you,
Lakers, Negro, Lakers, Los Angeles Lakers,
right, so
LAKERS. I'm not talking about no other team.
Okay,
I know what I know about the Lakers. His daddy called him, told him to simmer down.
You know for a fact. You don't know shit. You just talking. That's the problem. You talk like you know shit, but you don't
know information. I have information.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Hey, let's bring it. Let's bring it back, fellas. Okay. So listen, just think about this. If Gordon Hayward, if they was to bench him, right, and they was talking about trading him, and because he injury prone, like let's say Hornets was leaking out all kind of shit. They was allowing
been trying to
that. I don't believe that, but let's say they was leaking out all kind of shit like how they was on Russell Westbrook, and he ain't got nowhere near the career Russell Westbrook has, so the disrespect way more severe than with Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward probably would have a problem with the front office and Michael Jordan them too if they was being disrespectful to him, not just benching him, but the way they was going about Russell Westbrook. So say locker room, I wouldn't call him a locker room cancer, but I'm just saying Brandon Miller is not even good enough to take Gordon Hayward's spot, who was okay. He's an okay player, but he's not. You know, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you drafted somebody number 2 pick who can't even come in and just be clearly better than Gordon Hayward. Just like how Melo was clearly better than Devontae Grahams and Terry Rozier, like day one. But they still didn't start him, which was focus. But we already know that. That's neither here nor there. But for Miller, and like I say, y'all, I know y'all get on JT Thor, but what JT Thor has done and improved what they really want is playing defense, being able to guard 1 through 4. That's why he ain't. They don't trip on him scoring and shit like that. When they didn't have Melo and Miles and nobody, it's like, okay, it don't matter who put
But Pope,
somebody try to score.
no,
Uh,
but Pope, when I bring up Thor, and I just brought up Thor, I was talking about the rebounding, Doc. I was only talking about the rebounding.
And he don't even do that because he stay on the arc. He can't
I
get
I
down in time.
I spoke on the rebounding, Pope. That so I'm not speaking for someone else. I'm only speaking for what I spoke up on him. What I spoke up on him was actually being a power forward. And I even said within my statement, if you run back the tape, I said I hope he developed into what they thought he would be. I
he
did
must have
not speak
developed to
negative.
something. They didn't send him back to the summer league like they did Kai Jones and Book Night. So, and he wanted to go. He was tweeting. He just want to go out and hoop with them. But they
Right. But I didn't speak negative about him. I just said I hope he developed into what they think they saw in him. That's all I said about Thor.
I think they more high on his defensive presence than anything else because they really don't have that. They don't have nobody who can guard multiple positions, and they like to switch a lot. So I think he earned his
That
minutes
would be
doing that.
Bridges. But that would
Joey,
be
stop it,
Bridges.
Joey.
He,
Come up here and defend it. Stop hiding in the chat so we can rip one.
I understand that's Bridges, but you're gonna need somebody else off the bench too. Bridges can't play 48 minutes. You
No,
talking
no,
about
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying that was Bridges at that point. So
and
now we're
Bridges,
getting
is he a
Bridges
lockdown
back.
defender? And that's the thing. He been out for a year. So how long is it gonna take him till he get his groove back? Is he gonna come out the gates fresh? He might. He could possibly, depending on how much training and staying ready he been getting. But 10 games without him. Like I said, Melo to me is gonna make things go and interesting. Period. No matter who you throw with him, as
I
long as they
agree,
can
but
go.
I just think they're weak at the front court position. That was all I articulated about them.
Oh,
They
super
not
weak.
only weak, Gemini, they very weak.
Super weak. They let
Okay.
Ball. They let the Suns grab Ball to help them win a
Good point.
championship.
Good point.
And this Christian Woods kid, I mean, whatever's
Now,
clever.
I'm
I
not on
mean,
Christian Woods. I'm not on him.
not the only reason why I brought up
He's
Christian
too
Wood,
spoiled.
and I was the one who brought up Christian Wood, and I'll speak on that. I only bought him up for the 16 points. I know he can get the minutes in between um power forward by committee because that would be between him and Bridges at this point, and Thor bringing up the rear. So
Okay, stop right there
and
one second. Stop
okay,
right there one second about that. Now, Brent, you got Miles Bridges, JT Thor, and you said Christian Woods will be the meat of that sandwich at the power forward. But listen, do you think Christian Woods thinks he's better than Miles Bridges?
he thinks that, but I don't see that
So,
within his
okay,
game.
hold on. If he thinks he's better than Miles Bridges, then how will that sit with Christian Woods seeing Miles Bridges start over him after coming from Dallas, after coming from Houston, after coming from
He had the
Detroit, where
same
he was
problem in
starting?
Houston, and he had the same problem in Dallas. He shouldn't have been. That's why he was not the overall starter at neither one of those organizations. I mean, when I talk about him, I talk about him as a bench role player. I don't talk about him as a starter, big brother. Please don't get that misconstrued.
No, that's what I'm saying. How you think he's going to feel thinking he's better than Miles Bridges as a starter? And then he's sitting on the bench again for a horrible team. It's not like these are contenders. He's playing with a contender. At least
Well,
Dallas was a contender.
Y'all
well,
know why he been on the bench?
Go ahead, no panic.
The reason why he been on the bench with the Mavs isn't because he can't be a starter. He is a starter in this league. It's just Dallas been weak. Once they make that trade, even before the trade, they've been weak with their center. They always need a center position. They always need a rebounder. They always need a defensive center. He can give you the points, but he can't give you nothing defensively, and he can't rebound the ball. He can rebound the ball because he got size, but he ain't one of
Yeah, he
those
can
rebounders
rebound
who can
when he
stand
wants to. He
snatch.
can rebound when he wants to.
he
I've seen him rebound.
Yeah, so
he's a
they
good
had to put
stretch
him on the
four, man.
bench because they've been trying to switch up the lineups, and he ended up getting stuck there because it's like they make the big trade, and then when they bring the trade in, he really would have been a liability defensively. So they had to bring Power in the start.
And then you got to look at it like this too. Christian Woods, he's a 3 level scorer. So
He's a,
he in Dallas, he was just sitting at the arc basically.
but that's not the reason. But Dex, the main reason is he's 215, not 230, like everybody's asking him to
Mhm.
be. There's no team he hasn't went to that has not asked him to be at least 230. Detroit, no, hold on, just walk it back. All the G League teams he played for. Then he went to Detroit. Then he went to New Orleans. Then he went to Detroit. We even
Mhm.
asked him here to be 230. He didn't want to be
Mhm.
here. Detroit asked him to be 230. He didn't want to be it there. Houston asked him to be 230. Just 230. He didn't want to be that. Now Dallas asked him to at least get to 225. Him and Kid fell out. Now hold on. Before we take it left, where was Kid actually born and raised in? The West Coast?
Yes.
All right.
The
So
Bay,
if any
Oakland, to
so
be Pacific.
okay, so if any coach is gonna understand how you was brought up, who would that be? Among the
Hmm.
coaches in the NBA right now, who would that be? Another West Coast kid, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You got into it with Jason Kidd, of all coaches.
Because
Come on,
Christian
man.
isn't from the Bay, also, right?
Yes. He's
But
actually from Los Angeles.
this is the
He
Oh, he's
difference.
from LA.
yeah,
Okay.
he's from LA.
This the difference, though, man. And I really believe this. I might be crazy. You can call me crazy, but I believe, some people like. I don't like to be too big. I don't like to get too swole. I don't because I like the way I move at my size that I'm accustomed to.
Hmm.
And I can handle my own. So maybe that might be a problem for him. Like, nigga, I don't want to be that size. Like,
But
I'm
they paying
straight.
you
I can give you.
millions, and you
Wait,
just
wait,
your size because
wait,
of
wait,
your religion.
wait. It's like it's still. It's like it's certain people. If you don't have to do it, you don't have to do it. I don't think his size or his lack of weight is a problem for him. He handles his business on the court. I think his issue is whatever it is. It'll be different with him playing with Lamelo. I know that. You know why? Because Lamelo make the game fun again. When you play around Lamelo, when you play practice and so on and so forth, you're on road trips with Lamelo Ball. He keeps it interesting. And not only that, the reason
But he,
because he gonna have you ready. Like he gonna have you ready because you
let
know
me
you're
ask
gonna
you
get the
this real quick.
ball.
Let me ask you this real quick, because we already know that about Lamelo. Let me ask you this: you think Christian Woods just want to play basketball for fun?
Yeah, no, no.
No.
Say some people. Yeah, see, listen. I don't know the guy. Like that. Some people, they get lost. The fun get lost when the business started coming involved in the fuckery, right? Like 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 people messing with your minutes and training you here and there because you don't want to gain 15 pounds or whatever. You don't want to be this way, but you putting up numbers. You can see you can come off the bench and you putting up starter numbers. I mean, every time I hear something about Christian Woods and I look at his numbers is there. And I watch him play, his play is there. So if it's and if it's just so far that haven't worked out the places he's been for whatever reason, it ain't like he been in the best places.
Okay, Pope.
Well, he was
Let
in a
me
good
point this
situation in
out to you.
Detroit, though. I'll give him that. That was a good
Okay, but hold on.
situation. And
Okay,
Dallas was a good situation.
but Pope, let me also point. This is going to be the one time I I kind of kick a no panic and would throw a metaphor out there. The same thing was said about AD. AD was everybody was trying to tell him to gain weight but also keep up his cardio. Okay, by the time he really did accept it and he did pick up the weight, he just didn't keep up on his cardio. But if you
But
but
Christian
if you
Woods was not a number one overall pick coming
I
out of
know, but
Kentucky.
hold on. I know, but hold on, Dex. Hold
I
on.
mean, you got
Let
to
me
put
breathe for
those.
a sec. I
Okay.
know. Let me breathe for a sec. I'm only talking about the dimensions of the player. So when it comes to that aspect of it, even AD game got better because he was able to bang within the trenches. Woods it cannot bang within the trenches, and then that's where somebody is going to pull up out the crevices, as Dex like to say, and spew out their mouth that his position is basketball, and And
He's so
my
funny.
pushback is going to be he's 215. He's the size of a small forward, which is the same pushback we have on PJ Washington. PJ Washington would be a monster if he gains a little bit of weight so he can have that proper box out
Yeah.
and he can
No center
continue.
of gravity.
Right.
But then he gonna be a little fat boy. He already
A bowling
two
ball,
bowl
right?
of oatmeal away from he two bowl of oatmeals away from being a little chunky chunker.
I
So I
mean,
don't know.
I dig it, but that's the only one time I would throw a metaphor out there because and the only reason why I bring up AD is because I remember those Kentucky days when AD was thin as a board, and literally when somebody hit him in his chest, it's like you heard a wind tunnel come out of him. You dig what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
But the
and
only
and
thing
that,
I'm saying is this with the mental part of AD and Christian Wood. Although there's some similarities, but AD do have the credence a little more than Christian Woods based on he went to Kentucky and he was a #1 overall pick. So yes,
right.
he has some gripes with his leverage. Christian Woods don't have that. You follow
But
what I'm
let,
saying?
let me ask y'all, would Christian Woods be better than PJ Washington?
Yes,
I think so. I think so.
if he was at 230, yes, yes,
With
yes.
No,
him
I
being
think
right
now
where
he's
he
I
better
at.
than
think he's
PJ
better
Right
than
where
him
Washington.
he at.
now.
Right. Is he better than JT Thor?
Hell yeah, by
All right,
far.
what
No,
are we talking about? What are we talking about then? Go get the nigga then. Go get the nigga then.
But
He
the
up
listen
there
though,
Hornets
for the
Pope.
not going
The
to
taking.
get
thing
him,
of it is this. Listen, Pope.
and that's what
The
we're talking
Charlotte.
about.
Listen, no, listen. The Charlotte Hornet lacks leadership, right? They calling on Lamelo Ball, 22 year old, to be their newfound leader. Okay, so Lamelo's going to have growing pains during this. You don't need nobody on the outside making it harder and become a burden to. He already have a burden with the team that he's working with
No,
and
no.
the organization that he's working with. Like you said before, they never changed the roster. It's the same freaking roster,
But he gonna
and
love to play with
they want
LaMelo.
him to work miracles.
It ain't like playing with Luca where it's dribble, dribble, dribble. You standing around all day and he gonna hit you finally in the last minute.
But he played with better.
Nah,
He played on better teams.
this
Right.
He,
is
Yep.
he
he
played in
ain't played
Detroit.
with LaMelo. Listen,
He played.
LaMelo is
Hold
a
on. He
free
played in
flowing
Houston
player.
where he had 3 rings. Wasn't Houston his team? That was his team.
Yes,
That was his
Listen,
team.
they was trash. He
Yeah,
needed a
like
point guard. Who was their
Oh my
point guard?
God!
Kevin
Stop
Porter
making you.
Jr.
Pope, you can't embellish like this, man. Lamelo. We all know Lamelo is good. We all know Lamelo is great. But you can't lead a horse to water and make him drink it.
Hey, listen, man. A lot
no,
of
but see
people didn't think.
the problem is Christian Woods is not even a third option player. Like he's a fourth option on a good team. That's who he is. So if he go to Charlotte, he may have to play like that pseudo third option role. But if you got LaMelo on there, it's gonna be a lot easier for him to play that because he ain't gonna
But
be
he ain't
as
gonna
Oh,
like
vulnerable
he
that.
with
gonna
the
cut
ball.
up.
That's the point. It ain't Lamelo. It's him. It's Christian
Yeah,
Woods
Nah,
himself.
offensively he don't
He's
he
have a
his
gonna
own
problem.
love it.
problem.
He gonna love
Offensively he
it,
don't have a problem. But if he playing next to
Don't
Mark
believe that.
Williams, if you got
bro.
Mark Williams in there and you got a defender like Brandon Williams, when Brandon Miller, if he turned out to beat us multiple position defender, and you got him around Christian Woods, and then you got the center position with Mark Williams,
Christian
they
Wood had
shouldn't
his
have a
own
problem with
team.
him
So
playing
you
in the
telling me
corner.
now he's going to go to a
He
team to be
ain't that type of
relegated
guy
and he's
that
going
can
to be the
have his own
happiest
team.
man in the world like he's at Disneyland?
No,
He,
Are
if
you
he gets
kidding
on
me?
a team, he gonna put up good numbers and they still gonna
He
lose.
had his
That's the
own
type of
team.
he is.
Houston, that was his team before
Yeah,
Jalen
and they were a
before
bad
Jalen and them guys
team.
got there. That was his team
so
though.
what does
Yeah,
that
they
It
were
still
a
mean?
was
What?
his
bad
team.
Okay,
team.
what does that mean, Dex? What does that mean? So what does that
What
mean?
I'm saying is that you had a guy that had his own team
Uh huh.
and he still had issues. So something is wrong with him. He had his own
Okay,
team.
okay,
So
okay.
Then
Hold on. Hold on.
listen,
Houston
listen.
fell back.
Wait, wait.
Hold on
That's
one
like
second. Houston fell back from building around him for some kind of reason because
no,
that
Houston
was
ain't
his
never had
team.
plans of building around because Houston ain't had no plans
I
to
don't
begin
know
with.
that. I don't know that, and
I
you don't
don't
know that.
Nah,
believe
they
they was
had
building
all
no
All
they
I'm
had to
roster
saying
do
is
was
that
around
bring
was
him.
his
Jane up.
team. When they got him from Detroit, I believe that was his
So who
team.
else was on his team? Who was the second guy on the team? Who was the second best
Actually,
player?
I have to look up the roster, but that was his team.
Damn. Okay.
I don't know. I can't remember the full roster, but once
Listen,
they got
listen.
Jalen and them guys, then Christian Wood was
hold on,
expendable. I mean,
fellas.
Jalen Green.
Fellas, hold on, but fellas, the only reason why I brought up the name was possibly to fill a void on Charlotte. I didn't bring him up to actually be a topic I'm sorry.
I know, but it,
No,
it, it
yeah.
morphed into that. It ain't your fault. It morphed into that because Christian Wood
Okay.
is damn
He's overhyped to
hyperbolic.
me. Yeah,
Yeah, he's hyperbolic
Yeah, he in free
because he has
agency,
all the
and the
potential.
Hornets need to go get him.
He has all of it, but I think it's a head case though. That's what I'm trying to explain. I think it's a
Listen,
head
man, I
case for
don't.
him.
I deal with the head case. Listen at the range he
With
gonna
that kind of
get.
team, Pope, just
Listen,
barely winning.
you don't. It ain't like you got a championship team and you bring in a
But you can
basket
pass
case
on
in.
him away from somebody else. They
No,
ain't going
no,
nowhere
no.
no
I
time
need
soon.
talent. This is the problem with the Hornets, anyways. They trying to get niggas like Miller to fit with a boo boo team. All
And
that.
that's why you
Listen,
want Christian Wood
no,
because
no,
of
no.
Miller. Yeah, I
Because
see
I
where
don't
you're
know that
coming
he's
from.
the head case. All I know is I'm gonna get him
All
in
the
here
time.
with Melo. If he happens to be a head case or something that's too much for us to deal with, then we'll just wave him goodbye. I mean, because
But that's
it's
just
like I
waste of
say.
time. You might as well develop what you got there.
No,
You're gonna do
no,
that.
no, no, ain't no waste of time because anytime you go to the casino and you don't play no money, you damn sure ain't gonna win. But anytime you go out there and at least roll the dice, put your or strike, you got action. God damn it!
Then they should have
So
re-signed
we at a
trans, right? They should have
we at the
re-signed trans in.
we at the point where look,
Right?
the
And
Hornets.
listen to that. Don't skip over that. They should have re-signed Trez because Trez played good with Melo. It
You
was a
said
good fit.
Trez.
Yeah, Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah,
yeah.
but no,
Montrezl
he
Harrell
got
ain't even
caught
know
smoking weed out there and
Okay,
some more
you got
shit.
caught smoking weed, but this guy
Yeah,
got a
that's
head case.
illegal
So
out
what's the
there.
difference?
But
But
No,
he
no,
was
He
no.
got
already
caught
back
smoking
Philly
weed in
at the
Kentucky.
time, though,
That
Pope.
was Kentucky. That was
how was your
Kentucky.
head
He didn't
case?
get caught up in Charlotte.
You keep calling people kid cases and locker
Yeah, like
rooms,
how was
guys.
Christian was the head case?
Right. I don't say he's the
He got
head
put on
case.
a bench while being paid, and he ain't make no problems. Nothing come out the news.
Oh,
He came up the bench, did his
how you know
job.
he
Right.
didn't
How
make
you
no?
know
See,
he
that's what
wasn't
I'm
even
saying.
there, bro? He wasn't even there,
That's
bro. How the hell do you know what was going on in that locker room? Please tell me.
Exactly.
and what locker room? First of all,
No, I'm talking
Any
about
locker
people
room.
that saying what about the head case? I heard the head case stuff too, so I don't really know
well,
about.
the
Right. I
head
don't know
case is
about
based
Christian
on.
Woods being
Hold,
a
hold
head
on a
case.
second.
Okay,
The head
can I
case is
touch on
based
that?
on. Well,
Can
I
I
think they were
honestly touch
talking to
on
me.
that? Okay, I'm sorry.
So let me go ahead because I don't want them to feel that you're taking up for me. The head case is based on trained observation by seeing this guy being bounced around with so much talent, becoming a journeyman. Though
True.
a lot of times when you have top talent like Christian Woods and they expected him to, to be that kind of a talent, and then all of a sudden he doesn't measure up inside the locker room, but outside on the court he does. But teams still trade him away, and then the inquiry is why are you trading this talent away? I mean, this guy's good. He's tall. He's fast. You know what I'm saying? Good finisher, 3-level scorer. Why are you trading him away? What's the problem? But you don't hear the problem. But then he goes to another team, and then he goes to a team that says, "Okay, we're going to make you the guy. Yeah, we're not the best of teams, but we're going to make you the guy. Do your thing." And
But
then
that,
all of a sudden, they move away from him from
Okay,
1 or 2
so
years.
let me
but see,
finish
Dag, see what
answering the
that's
question.
right. That's what you're doing. You
Okay,
leaving out
you.
all the variables of why that happened. He
No,
excelled
let
in
I mean, but
Detroit.
you
Hold on.
gotta say something is wrong there.
Well, no,
no,
let me
no,
say
no,
this
no,
real
No,
quick.
no,
no,
Then let me
Dex
say
is
this real
You
Dex
quick.
is
can't just
right
say
on
no.
that
Hold
he's a
part.
on,
perfect
hold
player.
on,
Even in
Hold on,
Detroit, right?
because if he was a perfect
fellas,
player, if he was a
No,
perfect
fellas,
nobody's a
player doing
perfect
what
player.
he's supposed to
Nobody's a
do,
perfect player.
he's
fellas,
not getting
fellas,
moved away.
fellas.
No, Dex, listen, when he been in Detroit,
Fellas.
he over excelled in Detroit. So they looked at it like, okay, well, he over
That's what they
excelled. We got to
wanted
see
him
him
to
in
do
some.
anyway. No
No,
panic.
hold on,
He did.
hold on.
He did what he was
That
expected to do.
that
Let's
was
Let him
pay
that
for
finish,
it.
wasn't
X.
where
Let
Let
him
he
me finish my
finish.
point.
overexcelled.
Let
No,
me finish
hold
my
on.
point.
That's
He
not
Let him,
that's not where
overexcelled
he
in Detroit.
overexcelled.
He played good on a bad team. He
That's
went to
not where he
Houston.
overexcelled.
Houston thought, you know what? Like, damn, he played so good in Detroit. He's a
Yep.
franchise player. They
Yep.
realized he's
Exactly.
not a franchise player. So then they didn't want to pay him, and Dallas
When,
paid him, thinking,
okay,
well, we
hold
can
on.
bring him in and be a
Slow
second
down,
or
no
third
panic.
star.
Slow down, because I agree with you. Okay, why they feel he wasn't a franchise player? That's the part we need to figure out
because
because he
he's
Because
finally
not,
got
they
his
my
team.
dude.
played
He's
very
not a
good on bad
franchise
teams
player.
all the time.
Okay,
When you
okay,
watch
No,
but
let
hold
no
on.
Vucevic
panic.
in Orlando,
Can I
Wait.
hear
you
from
would
no
think
panic?
Vucevic is a number one option. He get to the Bulls, he's a number 3 or 4.
No, we're
We
That's
talking
not
said
the
that.
way
we're
it
talking
We
works
already
with
Christian
Aaron
Wood.
answered that.
Gordon. We thought
But
Aaron
that
Gordon been a top flight player, like one of the a franchise player. He get the
So
numbers.
you
They'll
said
just use him how he's
Dex.
supposed to be
No,
okay,
used.
okay.
Dex.
His mic is low. His mic is low. So listen, no panic. You're saying that his talent wasn't top flight, and the Houston Rockets misread him. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And at
All right.
that
Cool.
point, money involved. Only teams know about him like from a personal standpoint as a team that grew him and he excelled in, which was Detroit, the team that ended up wanting him as a franchise player in Houston, and Dallas, who put him on the bench. So it's not that he's a head case as much as okay, well, he can
Sound
score
like to me a
plus
head case.
15, 16
Okay,
points a
hold on,
game,
Dex.
but he
I
can't
got him. Hold
defensively
on,
do nothing
Dex.
for us. He can't rebound. He can't play the center position.
We
He's
really
not that
talking about
big.
Christian Wood right now?
But Christian
Hold
Woods
on.
was
Wait,
a
wait, wait,
fringe
wait, wait.
all-star in Detroit, so don't say what he couldn't do, because if you go look at those numbers in Detroit,
Dex,
that
I tell
dispels
you this
what you
all
just
the
said.
time, Dex. When players play good and on bad teams, it means nothing. He is putting up
Detroit
points.
wasn't no bad team.
Detroit,
Yes, they was. What are you talking
No, they
about?
wasn't.
It was
They went to the
horrible.
Dex,
playoffs.
They
Dex,
went
No,
to
they
the
were
They had Blake
horrible,
playoffs.
Griffin
Dex.
and everything.
Dex,
That's when the East
It
was
wasn't
garbage,
horrible.
Dex.
Dex. Be real
Okay,
now.
And what's his
wait,
name was
wait,
an
wait, wait,
all-star on
wait.
that team. Blake
He
Griffin and
over.
Andre
Right,
Drummond.
they've been a
He
bad
They sent
over.
two
team.
players to the all-star. So how's that
No.
terrible?
No,
They've been
Okay,
a
good
but hold
luck.
bad
on,
team.
hold on. If
They
if
was
if
not a
if
good
if,
team.
if, if you're gonna say his career, say
How
his
you not a
career
good team
right.
if you in the playoffs?
He over
Not
succeeded
no
as
player.
a Pelican. He
Yeah,
did not over succeed as a Detroit Piston. He
they'll
gave the
fix it first.
Detroit Piston exactly what they needed. But when he was a Pelican, that is when he outplayed his contract. That is how
Got
he was able to go to Detroit.
to Detroit. Got you.
Exactly,
And
but
It,
get
when he get
paid.
to Detroit, he played on a different level to make people look at him like, well, he may be one of them players we can bring in for a championship or build
I
around
agree.
or
I
something.
agree.
That's
I
what
agree,
that
no
Yeah,
is.
Petty.
That's how the
that's
I
where
agree
he
with
scheme
that.
peaked. He
works.
peaked in Detroit. But
I agree.
the whole thing with Wood, like I say, it's just the Hornets, man. It's and I see people in the chat and
but
talking about
because
the
of
way you bring Miller along is slow and this, that, and the
Bro,
other.
every
no
rookie
Pope.
was gonna
That's
get put
crazy.
on the bench.
No, but
So
Pope. But
That's
Pope.
that's not
No, let
true at
Joey go.
all.
Let Joey go for a
Scoot
minute. Let
hold
him
on,
Henderson
hold
finish
on.
would
The
have.
side,
Lester. Go ahead,
Oh,
Joey.
you
What
sound
you say?
crazy as hell. Scoot
bro.
Henderson would have been starting
Victor,
for sure over
Hold, let
Terry
Joey go for
Rozier.
a minute. Let's see what he got to say real
who,
quick
who?
before
Joe,
we beat Joey
Joey,
inside the
come on.
head. Go ahead,
Scoot
Joey.
would
Come
have
on,
been
Joey.
starting
Get
for
ready to
Hell
beat
sure.
you
no,
inside the
Pope.
head
You
with.
know
Wait,
better
wait,
than that.
wait, wait,
Sound
Pope.
crazy.
You know better than that.
Wait, Pope. Wait, Pope. Come on, Joey. Breathe.
Go
Breathe,
ahead, go
Joey.
ahead, go ahead.
Come on, Joey. Come on with it,
Oh,
Joey.
me.
You
Oh, you
got the
want me?
flow.
Oh, perfect. Look, any rookie they would have drafted besides Wemby was not starting. Point blank. Period. Believe it
I
or not.
agree. I
Try
agree.
later. Cry in your bed. Y'all just be happy Scoot didn't get drafted and he was on the bench because y'all
I
probably would
don't
have been
even want to
balling.
do no what ifs, bro. That sound
Joey,
crazy though.
no,
That
he
sound
wasn't
Man,
crazy.
starting.
So
if Scoot ain't
you
get
trying to
drafted,
tell me Scoot wouldn't have been started? He wouldn't have
Hell
took Terry
no,
Rozier's spot. They
he
would have
man,
didn't
look,
play
if
traded
them
good
Terry
boy
enough.
had
Rozier.
Oh my
Had
Terry
they
God,
hold
on
on,
trade block that night.
time out. This is what I'm finna cook. Hold, let me cook now, because you
cook.
niggas
Go ahead,
sound retarded. Hold on, shh,
go ahead.
just real
I'm
quick.
smoking on the Scoot pack right now.
You
Go
gonna
ahead.
learn something. You gonna learn something, young Joey. Watch this. Listen, you had the Pelicans ready to get rid of Zion Williamson or Brandon Ingram for Scoot Henderson.
Not Ingram.
Hold
Not
on,
Ingram.
time out. What they both their names was out there, so I don't want to hear yo not
Not
Ingram. Yes,
Ingram.
nigga,
Not
they
Ingram.
was they. You
Not
better
Ingram.
believe it was either or. Which one you want?
Not
So
Ingram.
you can say not Ingram. Then his name was out there on ESPN, all the major platforms and all that. It was both of them. So you can say
ESPN,
that
the
bullshit
same
you
one
want
pushing
to.
Dame out
It
of
was
Portland.
out there. Brandon Ingram and Zion
Bro,
Wilson.
you just said
Anyway,
That's
don't talk on
hold on,
that's
ESPN.
time
Talking
out,
on
false
time out.
inside,
advice.
Let
right?
me finish. Hey, listen, bro, listen. Let me finish because you had so you got that right, and then you got Portland Trailblazers who knew if they drafted Scoot Henderson, if they didn't trade that pick away, they was going to trade Dame Lillard. So they got rid of. They was willing to. You got two franchises willing to get rid of their franchise guys for Scoot Henderson. You don't think he would have started over Terry Rozier? You sound
No,
crazy.
my guy.
You
No,
sound crazy.
Them boy
money
would have had
walks,
Rozier
money
on the
talks,
trade
my
block
guy.
that night if that ever
Hold
did.
on, no,
Sound
he's
crazy.
getting paid 25 million a year. You sitting 25 million on the bench? You
Okay,
dead?
Fuck
Pope.
yeah, you
Charlotte?
No,
it,
you
it
train
worked.
them
They would
immediately,
have
just
fought the
Wait,
like,
trade
Pope.
block.
Nobody wants those
hold on,
guys. You
Pope.
seen
just
it with
like Dame
Pope.
Bridges?
Lillard's getting traded, you
Pope.
gonna trade him immediately.
Pope.
No,
They
Lillard
would
didn't
have
even
Pope.
been,
get traded yet.
you're trading
Lillard
him
didn't even get
immediately.
traded yet.
Hold on, Pope. Let me break that down. The Charlotte Hornets honestly have for the last 2 seasons, and the only reason why I know this because I actually did my research. The Charlotte Hornets have been trying to move Terry Rozier and Hayward for the last 2 seasons. Trust me.
They
When
have not, man. That's not true.
Yes, they have.
That's not true, bro.
Yes,
I
they
follow the
have.
Hornets, so I don't want to hear that shit.
Yes,
have anybody
they
heard
have.
of the Hornets trying to get rid of Terry Rozier and
They
Gordon Hayward?
have
Has
been
anybody
trying
heard
to
of that?
move them.
No.
They have
Anybody?
been trying to move
Nope.
them.
No.
They have
Okay,
been
so this
trying to
nigga
move
just
them.
No,
he's
no,
just
no.
talking out
Last
the side
year,
of his neck.
no,
They
no,
have
no,
been
hold
trying
on.
to move them.
Last year, I know they was trying to get rid of him and Rozier for
Thank
Westbrook. There was
you.
talk. Michael Jordan did talk with Jeannie Buss
Oh
about
man,
that.
that was some
But the only
bullshit.
yeah,
Yeah,
was
right.
it? Why
Oh,
everything that
not
you disagree
bullshit
with is
when you
bullshit?
don't like it.
Everything
Well,
we
When you
because
disagree
don't
with is
that
like
bullshit.
little
it.
report
Man,
came out,
please.
You don't
everybody
like
knew
it.
that was
This
It's
is what was
bad.
Thank you,
reported.
Murgon.
Jeannie
Thank you,
Buss,
Murgon.
Jeannie
Come
Buss,
on.
hold on. Jeannie Buss did not want to
it just
give cash
it was one
consideration
little
over the Westbrook trade. She wanted Michael Jordan to take
Yes.
everything.
No, y'all,
And
no.
Michael
Lakers ain't
wanted
gonna
her to
give up
pay
that
some of the
first round
contract,
pick.
and that killed that.
Yes.
Lakers ain't gonna give up a first round pick to move Westbrook. That's why that trade ain't gonna do.
No,
I'm
no,
not
that's
talking
not
about no
why.
first round
No,
pick.
that's
I'm
not
talking about the
why.
cash
The
consideration
the only
Lakers
that
thing
Michael
is
ain't
the
wanted.
involved
Lakers.
with that trade.
But what
It
I'm
was
saying
cash
is,
consideration.
Lake
It was
every
cash
team
consideration,
that the
and
Lakers
Jeannie
was trying
got
to
in
trade
front
with
of media.
Westbrook, they wanted a first round pick with him.
No,
Lakers was
Charlotte did
unwilling to
not.
give up that
Charlotte
first
did
round pick.
not. You're
Bro, you
lying.
think Charlotte gonna
Charlotte
take
did not.
on Westbrook? So
Charlotte
who they
did
gonna give up?
not.
Rozier
Charlotte did
and
not want that.
Rozier and another player?
Charlotte did not want to pay
So
the
so
cash consideration,
Michael
and
So
that's
hold
why
on,
Jordan
hold
is
that.
on, time
only
out.
That's why that
This
representing
is
that
where
he's
y'all got to get
on
shit
One
straight. Hold
mic,
on,
one mic.
because this was came out. The Lakers offered. They called Charlotte. It was Charlotte looking to trade Terry Rozier. They called Charlotte
You can
to
say
get rid of Westbrook, and Charlotte turned it down.
Once
So
again,
again, hold on.
you know
Again, it's no reports that Terry Rozier or Gordon Hayward that Hornets has ever had them in trade considerations.
yes,
no,
they
that's not
was.
Tell
true.
y'all
I
that.
don't know what you're
Yes,
looking
they
at or what you
was.
just looked at.
Yes, they
What's
was.
true is that they was almost ready to nix that deal, but Mike threw in a late incentive for Jeannie Buss, since the Lakers are rich, to pay a portion of Westbrook contract, and she
The
said
cash
no.
That
consideration,
don't make
and
sense
she
if he the
said
last
no.
year, Dex. Why would they want him to?
I'm only telling you
That
what
don't
was
make sense.
reported.
No, I get what you
Because
saying,
Jeannie
but
got up there
that
herself
don't
and
make
said
sense
she
for a
wasn't
team to
paying
take
it.
on an expiring contract and also
Yeah,
want you to
because
pay
both of them
portions of it.
spoke. Just what Mike said. I'm quoting Mike. Mike said, "I'm fond
Oh,
of Westbrook."
well,
And why
where
would
can I
Mike
see
talk?
that?
Hold
Hold
on.
on,
Yeah, I
Now,
want
before
to
why
you
see
would
this.
quote
Mike?
Mike, where can
I
I
want to see
see
this.
this quote?
Well, listen. Listen. You the researcher. So if you want another researcher to help you research, you put in
No. If
You
Google
you
saying
gonna
things
quote
like
Jeannie
this,
something,
but
Buss,
you
you got
gotta
to
Michael
tell
back
me
it up.
where
Jordan,
you got the
Westbrook.
quote from. You can't. I mean, what kind of shit is that? If
Yeah,
you're
you
gonna
could be
quote
making this up all
somebody
week, bro.
else,
Look at
Okay,
guard
shut the fuck up and I'll
77
tell
just
you.
put. Okay.
Then
who
say
you
it.
Jeannie
You
hold
Buss.
said
on?
they asked
Who you talking to? Me?
I'm talking to whoever's asking me
Come
to
on, Dex.
get
You know, come on.
interview
Don't
or
shut
anybody
the
else.
fuck up. That's how you talk to people, Dex. You tell people shut the
Sometimes,
fuck up. All right,
sometimes,
Dex. You got it, man. You got it, man.
yeah, sometimes. If you take it like that, sometimes yes, I do.
Yeah, no,
Because
man. I don't
I'm
shut the
trying to
fuck up
tell
when
you.
somebody tell
Look,
me shut the
look.
fuck up. I'm
Okay,
gonna
then
say
don't shut
I
the
just
fuck
keep
up then.
talking then.
Don't do
So
it.
then fuck
Then
it
don't do
then.
it.
You ain't gonna get to talk
Then don't
then.
do it.
Fuck it.
Then don't
Since
do
you
it.
talking to whoever, nigga, fuck that. You're not talking it. So like I say, it's all about what the fuck the Hornets is wanting to do. They didn't never to me. I said it ain't no reports
Murdoch just put
that
in the
came
chat
out.
a link.
The
Look
link.
up the fucking link.
Yeah.
He put what in the chat.
We'll be
He
doing
just
all
put the
this
link
talking
up there.
just to be right and fight hard as hell
So
when they wrong.
this is the link to what you just said, Michael
I don't know.
Jordan's
I
quote,
don't know what
right?
it is. Murdoch put it up there.
Okay, so don't tell me here goes a link to something you don't even know what it is. This is what I'm
Look
talking
at
about.
the fucking chat, dude.
No, man. Is it the
He
link?
put it right there.
I
Look
asked you
at
for
it.
the
He
quote.
got two
Hey,
links.
Pope.
You just
Pope.
went there. You about to
Look
quote
at the
Michael
link.
Jordan.
Pope.
All I
Hold
asked you
on.
was for the
Read.
quote.
Hold on.
Where'd you
Deliver it.
get a quote from?
Pope.
Look at it.
This,
I know what
I
I be talking about.
guarantee that Michael Jordan
hold
quote
on,
don't exist.
Pope. This actually made the news on both sides, and it made the news so much to where ESPN and Sports Illustrated had to cover it. So at this
Michael
point,
Jordan
if
spoke
you
on it.
don't
Jimmy
know,
Buss spoke on it.
yes,
Man,
they
you
Hell,
ain't gonna
spoke
find no
on
quote
it.
no Michael Jordan talking in
dudes
depth
all
like
up.
that about that.
LaMelo
Oh
Ball
my
ass don't know what's
God.
going on in the world.
There's no owner that come out and talk that in depth about a trade. Yeah,
Look,
we ain't want to do
They
it because we
both
ain't got
Lift
talked
cash
up the
flow.
about it.
link.
That's
Murdoch
They
just
all.
put up
That's
a link,
talked
man.
about it.
Just look up the link.
They
Look,
both talked
look.
There's two
about it.
links he put up. Two
No,
different links.
you know why it
We
don't
on
make
the
no sense to
panel,
look up the
Dex.
link?
We can't lick up the link while we on the panel.
Because when somebody bring
Well,
up
you
the
guys are challenging me.
No, listen.
Now somebody
This
put
why
up a
this
link
I
this
ain't,
why
that
the
I,
happens
link
to
A
agree
link
with
to
what I was
what?
saying. Now you don't
this
want to look
why
it
the
up.
link don't matter. That's why the link don't matter.
This is why
Because
Flight
at the end
Sports
of the
TV
day,
chat
at the end of
is
the day, that
wild
link is
because
not going to
it
show
doesn't
Michael
see.
Jordan saying
It
what you said
doesn't
he said.
matter who's doing the talking. They will put up a link, and somebody will be right and somebody will be wrong.
So
yes.
so
It's
what is
not
the
here to
link?
protect me.
What is the link about? What is it to?
I'm
The
done
link
with
is
that.
about the link is about the trade. Murph
The
got it.
trade
I'm not
rumors.
Is
saying
the
it.
link about
I'm
Michael
So
no.
Jordan
so hold
saying
on.
what
It's
Don
about
Banks
So
the
said?
trade.
so
Yeah.
again, did the Hornets call looking to trade?
That
What
wasn't
teams?
your point,
No,
Morph.
it was
I mean,
because you
Pope,
said they was actively
Pope.
trying
No,
to hold on.
slow
You
down,
said
Pope.
they was
Slow,
hold on, because you
Pope,
said they was
slow
actively
down.
trying to
That was
trade
not your.
Terry Rozier.
Yes,
That's what you said.
yes. They've been
Okay,
trying to
so
move him.
and then the only thing you brought up was the Lakers trying to trade Russell Westbrook to the Hornets, and the Hornets negotiating with him. That's not them
And the
actively trying
cash
to trade them,
consideration
putting them
was
on a
the
trade
reason
block,
why.
homie.
Hold on, Pope. The only reason why the trade did not go through, and this is what I'm saying, is that the only reason why that trade did not go through is because Jeannie Buss refused to pay the extra cash consideration that Mike was supposed to pay. If Mike didn't want to pay it, so when Mike didn't want to pay it, Mike got on live in front of his reporters and said, "I'm not paying the cash consideration. I want the
Exactly.
Lakers."
Okay.
Hold on, Pope. No, Pope. Let me finish now. Let
Yeah,
me finish now. Let me finish now.
yes, sir.
Pope. So literally, when Mike got up and said he's not going to pay it, Jeannie literally said, "Well, if the
Shout out
contract
to Big Al.
is more on your side with the money, so why would I pay the cash consideration? That's why I killed the deal."
Okay, so now listen to this. When they first even talked about trading Westbrook to the Hornets, if you had
That
any
wasn't your
common sense,
point,
hold on,
Pope.
time out,
That
time
wasn't
out.
your point.
Listen, yes, because my whole point was the Hornets ain't been trying to actively trade him. Well, I've been waiting to hear the news of them trying to trade Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward. It has never been on news of the Hornets looking to trade Terry Rozier and
That's
Gordon
not
Hayward.
true either.
So the
That's
only
not
thing
true
Not
that
either.
has
true,
came
Pope.
out
Hornets,
about them, hold
the
That's
on.
not
Hornets
true,
The
Pope.
almost
only thing that
traded
came out
Gordon
about
Hayward
this
to
is
Indiana,
the
and Gordon Hayward didn't want to go, and the Hornets didn't want to pay the 15% trade kicker. He
How
so
can
almost
y'all
got
how
to his
can
listen.
y'all
So you
hometown
compare
talking
the
about the
link
Indiana.
Lakers
somebody
trade
who finished
again? Are
their
you talking about
point
the
before
Lakers
y'all
trade?
interrupt?
Are you talking about the
No, I'm
Westbrook
talking
trade
about
again?
Gordon Hayward now.
Gordon
Talking
Hayward
about
to
Gordon
where?
Hayward contract on
He
Gordon
almost
Hayward
got traded to
contract. It's a
Indiana,
trade kicker. It's a
but it
trade
was a
kicker. That's the
15%
problem.
trade kicker, and Michael didn't want to pay the trade kicker, so he sat on the contract. And
That's
Gordon
not
Hayward
cash
sat.
So
consideration.
he
No,
exactly,
this is
bro.
Gordon Hayward. This is Gordon Hayward. This is
If
separate.
somebody
No,
don't want to do something,
Hayward by itself.
they're not really trying to do it. So listen, that's again, if y'all keep getting misconstrued with people trying to get the Hornets to trade for this,
Indiana
that, and the
didn't
other,
want Hayward.
they
Mike
don't.
gave that call.
No, but it don't matter. You say that
You saying it
Mike
don't
gave
matter,
that
but it does
call.
matter.
You can say that Mike gave that call to get rid of Hayward for Miles
I
Turner.
don't know who made the call. Yeah, it's the Mouse Turner. I don't know who made the call. All I know is it was a consideration, and that trade talk went on for weeks, and then
It
all of a
was the
sudden it died down.
Pacers again been trying to get rid of actively. See, this is what we do know. This is what I'm saying. You guys, we always known the Pacers been trying to get rid of uh Miles Turner, and even when they was trying to get rid of Sabonis, and they did get rid of him to Sacramento. They was actively shopping them, just like how the Pelicans was just actively shopping Zion. The Hornets has never actively shopped at neither one of them dudes. Like here, we got them on we call them, we taking all calls for Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward. That's never happened.
It was for Hayward when he had got healthy. I think it was a year and a half ago when he finally got healthy again. Yes, they
And
did
listen,
shop him,
every article I
and that
read
was right
about this
before the trade
trade,
deadline.
it's the Lakers contacting teams to try to unload Russell Westbrook, but teams wanting the first round pick with him. I don't see nothing about
But with
nobody
Charlotte,
offering
that was
Rozier.
not the case.
You knew
With
that one
Charlotte,
trade
that was
wasn't gonna
not the
happen.
case.
Anybody with common sense knew that trade. As soon as they
Exactly.
said Russell Westbrook, ain't nobody taking $47 million for 1 year. And so
Somebody took it. What do you mean nobody? Somebody took it.
The Lakers, hold on,
Don't say nobody. Say most
and I'm
teams.
about to help Poke out.
and they had
Because
to add a first
literally,
round pick to it.
because
Both of them.
literally, the Lakers was going to take over the 54.5 over the 48, and that was why no picks was involved with that trade. Just that Mike did not want to pay the kicker of Hayward. And he wanted Jeannie to pay it, and Jeannie said no.
But
I'm
y'all said
already
cash
taking
considerations.
over.
Here's Purple
I'm
Baby.
I'm
I
I'm taking
think Purple
over
Baby
the
might have a little
money.
more insight because she's really into it.
Everybody into it, but
Shout out
y'all
Purple
said
Baby.
cash
Pope, you
considerations.
no panic. You don't do no research, Pam.
Y'all
You
said
don't do
cash
no
considerations.
research.
Now with the kicker, that's crazy, right?
It is.
That's
That's
how
Okay,
it
part
but
of
works,
his
y'all
bro.
said
contract.
That's
y'all
how it
said
works.
Gemini,
cash
hold on one second.
considerations
Let's
That's
get
part
some
of his
Russell
contract.
Westbrook
Gemini,
contract.
hold
Now
on one
with the
second.
kicker.
There's a lot
Come
of
on, man. Y'all
testosterone on the
be
panel.
talking.
Let's balance it out with some estrogen. Purple Baby, how you doing? Your mic hot?
Yeah, I'm good. I see
What's going on with you?
y'all talking about this Lakers with the Russell Westbrook thing when it came to the Hornets again.
Why
That's
didn't it go through? That's the main topic.
because,
Purple.
as I
No, it's not.
said to a couple of weeks ago, the reason why is because the Lakers didn't want to, if they was in the luxury tax, they didn't want to go in farther, or they didn't want to go into it to begin with. Hayward and Rozier were not worth, if they wasn't in the luxury tax at that time, which I think they were, with
Mm-hmm.
the combination of Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. It wasn't worth, them two guys being traded for. So they didn't want, like, Terry's not a bad player. They just didn't want, the situation.
The
And I got
money.
to remember, Terry was getting ready to start the contract that he's on now. He was supposed to be starting that new contract. But the Lakers, Jeannie is cheap from what I keep hearing from fans and stuff like that. She don't want to be in the luxury tax and pay. These owners got to pay that money when they go into the luxury tax.
Thank
I
you.
don't know who the money goes to, but they have to pay it. It would have been a good deal for the Hornets. And the Hornets, if Westbrook would have came, they wasn't gonna buy him out or nothing like that. Like,
No,
And then on
Okay,
he's a
top
now
of
John
it,
hold on
Grant
then
player.
one second, guys, 1 second. Now, Purple Baby, what happened between the Gordon Hayward and Indiana situation?
only thing I remember hearing and stuff like that was that Indiana, the money that Charlotte paid Gordon, because they was interested in Gordon also coming from the Celtics, that Indiana didn't like that money. And that's the only thing that I heard. Like, the money that the Hornets gave him, Indiana was like unwilling. That's the last thing I heard.
Yes.
y'all know how crazy that sound about the Rozier thing. Think about it. Why would the
Oh my
Lakers
God.
trade an expiring contract for a contract that just now about to start kicking in? If they had bring on Rozier, you do realize they wouldn't be able to re-sign Austin Reeves. They wouldn't be able to bring in all them other players they bring in or any
And
player
I
next season.
agree
So
with
that
But
would
I
have been
think
dumb
at
to
the
start off
time,
with. Pelinka
hold
would
on,
have did that
That's
Purple.
anyway.
before.
I think at
That's
the time,
before Reeves got
yeah,
there, though. That,
yeah,
Reeves
before
was an
he's exploded
unknown.
into the scene, yeah.
That's an unknown. He wasn't
No.
Okay,
even in the
even
draft
if he
What do
an
you
class.
mean?
unknown, how
He
did we
didn't
pull up
explode
that
onto the
roster? They
scene at
still
the
got to
time.
trade Rozier for a couple of years.
No, listen,
Oh
no
my
panic. He didn't
God,
explode on the
dog.
scene at the time that this was all going down.
No, no,
I
okay,
remember Juju. Hold on a
I'll
second.
give you
I
that.
wish
What I'm
Juju was
saying
here
is,
because I
how
remember
do you
having this
build out a
conversation with
roster if you
Juju.
so? Go ahead.
Yeah, I remember having this conversation with Juju. How he broke it down better than anybody that I know of.
And look,
Right?
and that's the
Because he
problem.
was
Look where
really
y'all get y'all
into
source
it.
from.
We're getting
No,
the
some
sources.
people listen. Hold
We
on, no panic. Don't do that because you
wait,
put
wait, wait.
yourself
No,
in
no,
the
no,
same
no, no.
boat.
Me
Nah,
and Purple
listen,
do the
listen,
Some
numbers.
listen,
people
No,
do
no.
listen.
more
Wait, wait,
research
wait,
on
wait,
one
wait, wait,
He's
team
a
than other
child.
people.
ever.
He's a kid.
Don't you ever. No, hold on, Dex. Don't you ever, because me and Purple run numbers. So
Yeah,
don't
some
you
people are
ever
more
state
into it.
that.
Yeah.
Man, listen,
I run the number
I
of
don't
these
know, I don't know
organizations.
what you talking about running numbers. All I know is the same
That's
information, the same
that's
studying,
the
the
exact
same
thing.
research, the
That's the
same
exact thing.
basketball you
You
watching.
don't know the
Everybody in
numbers.
this panel
You
watch.
don't know the
None of us work
numbers.
for the NBA. None of us work
You
for
don't know the
ESPN.
numbers
None of
because
us
you don't
professional
research.
analysts.
Man, I
So
can't
stop with
believe you
all that.
talking like
Oh
this,
well, this
Mr.
person say that
Kyrie.
shit. Talk what you
Mr.
know.
Kyrie.
Talk what
He's
you know.
sounding like Kyrie now, right now. He's sounding like Kyrie.
All I know is, man,
He's
these
sounding
Hornets.
just like Kyrie right now.
Melo got a lot. He got a lot to carry. He got to score. He got to do the. He still got to do everything.
A heavy burden.
He got
Yes.
to be the leading
No,
scorer.
he don't.
He got to
No,
be
he
the
don't.
leading assist guy. He got to be the leading rebounder. He's got to be the
What?
leading steal. Yeah, He's got to do the same shit he was doing since he was 19 years old.
Okay,
That's what
Pope,
type
you
of
say that.
squad they got.
Hold on a second, because Pope is on to something. So you say that 260 bring in all that because we know when he was signing his contract, Mitch Kupchak was spewing innuendos, right? MVP, all NBA,
MVP.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying, and things of that nature. So that is a indicative of the burden that LaMelo have on the team that is somewhat deplorable. And do you think it's fair or unfair?
What Melo tell him back? He said he had championships. How about that? Like
Yeah, just win.
then we'll get to the other shit later. But how about you build me a squad? But at the same time, he wanted niggas like Miller on the team. So
Yes,
uh
sir.
so
Yes, sir. Yes, he did. Yes, he
you know,
did.
So do you think
damn.
it's fair, though, Pope? Do you think it's fair
You got your
for this
pom
young
poms with
man
you,
to be
Joey?
on this kind of team
You
with
brought
no
your pom
improvement
I see you like that.
to do all that?
Say that again, Dex.
I said, do you think it's fair for LaMelo Ball to be on this kind of a team and they expect all of that?
No, I mean, it's like, listen, this ain't fair, man. So it is what it is. I mean, he gonna deal with it. He ain't gonna have no choice now. He didn't sign this 5 year, and it is what it is. They've shown them for 4 years that they don't make no moves at all in free agency. They don't do good in the draft, and they've been doing this before he got there. So it's the same old same.
They cannot make moves
And
like that.
and
They're over the
and
cap, my guy.
Hey, yeah, you man, listen, man, you still sipping a sippy cup, man. So you don't know what kind of moves
You're
they can make.
you're a
Wait a
school
minute,
fan, bro.
you can't
We
be
saw
talking
you
to
in the
Joey
chat.
like
You
that.
still
Joey don't wear a bib.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
that
he
hey,
wear a
that's
bib
why I've
out
been
here,
trying to
bro.
say.
man.
That's why I've been
Look,
trying to say, like,
Wow, Pope,
y'all,
if
Pope,
the
school
information
would have
y'all
calm
got
getting, like,
down.
drafted,
everybody ain't talking about basketball, like how
what are
basketball
you
should be
talking
talked
about?
about.
You don't. What is this
Y'all
guy
don't follow
talking
the.
about?
It's like the contracts don't even make sense for the Terry Rozier thing.
Bro, nobody wants Terry Rozier or Gordon Hayward. It's clear as
And that's the
day. Like
All
problem.
that
right,
shit
so
is fucking
okay,
so
so that's
simple.
my point.
Anybody can see
That's the
that
point
shit.
we've been trying to make earlier.
So
So you
that's why I
talking to
said
Dexter
Miller
right
would
now.
not start. Miller cannot start because they're paying a guy $30 million. They
$1 million.
need to go for that.
Okay,
Nobody
okay,
saying
hold
nothing
on,
about
Joey.
Miller start. What
Joey,
I'm
don't no,
talking
Joey.
about is the
Joey, I ain't gonna let you get away with that. You saying Miller can't start because of the
The
contract.
30
So
million,
are you
yeah,
saying
$30
that
million.
Miller is better than the $30 million man
Hell yes,
right
he's
now?
way better, but we know Charlotte already.
Way better?
well. Hey,
Joey, stop.
listen, take him off the panel.
Joey,
If he
I'm
can't be an
telling you,
adult,
What?
take
Joey,
him
right
off the
now.
panel.
Wait, so Brandon Miller isn't better than Gordon Hayward right now? Are we serious right
No,
now?
no,
No, he's not.
no,
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Whoa.
No,
No,
he's not.
no.
sorry, only
No,
you
he's
think
not.
that with the pom poms.
Yeah, like you sound crazy.
Wait. So you think
Joey, stop it, Joey.
school would be better than Terry Rozier? That's what you were saying if school was
Bro,
drafted.
For
bro,
sure, for sure.
Gordon Hayward, and he's an injured player, cool, but he's still a good player. He just injured.
God. That guy is a bum. Come on,
No,
what
he's
the
not
hell?
a
Okay,
bum.
Yeah,
No,
okay,
but that's why I
no,
he's
said,
hold
like,
not a
hold on,
you
bum.
don't
Dex,
even know
Dex,
what you're
Bro,
How
you
you
talking
could
say
about
do a
on
that?
the
poll in the
basketball.
chat
Dex,
right now. You could do a poll in the
Dex.
chat right now, and everybody would tell you Hayward is
That's
ass.
that would be
Casual
an
to tell
emotional
you,
But
yeah,
that's the
response. It wouldn't be a
collective.
casual to
That's the
tell
logical
you.
collective.
response.
Compared to
That's the
who?
collective.
Gordon
Wait,
Hayward compared to
hold.
who?
Gordon Hayward's not a bum. He's not a bum player.
He's
Come on.
just an injured
Bruh.
player. That's all.
Now
Bro,
he's
you
not
see how he
Wait,
available.
hold
He's
plays?
on,
not
hold on.
available, but
That
he's not
shit
a
don't
bum.
work no more. He's one of the last people in his draft class left in the
And he really
league, bro,
don't
for
fit
a
with
reason.
No,
Don't
he's
LaMelo.
mean
not.
See,
nothing.
that's
No,
the
he's
thing.
not.
He really don't fit with LaMelo, but he's not a bum
Exactly.
player.
He don't
But
fit
he
with
don't fit with
LaMelo.
LaMelo. He does
So
not
he
fit with
doesn't look
LaMelo
his
at all.
greatest. So he don't look his greatest. But he's
But
still
but
he's
Gordon Hayward
he's
can
average.
average a
He's
dub.
average.
He can average a
Man, if
dub.
Gordon Hayward had played in any of those summer league games, he'd have been putting
Gordon
up
Wait, so he's a
25
Hayward.
number
plus.
two. He's a number two or number three option on any other team?
No, but
Hell
that's a
no.
you moving the goalposts and that nobody's saying he a number two, number three.
No, he's
I'm
just
just
better
saying
than Miller.
he's better than
No,
Yeah,
Brandon
see,
he's
you
Miller.
better than
can't do
Miller.
that because now you moving the
Okay, hold
goalposts. The
on, hold on,
goalposts
hold
goes
on, hold
beyond
on,
Miller,
hold
Miller.
bro.
on,
What
hold
the
on,
hell?
hold on, hold on.
No, Miller is
If we
polarizing.
may, wait, hold on. If we're gonna do this
Shout
and
out,
keep
Big
this
Al. Shout out, man.
in full perspective, okay, this man had 14.7 points last year, 4.3 rebounds, and 4.1 assists. All
Shout
right,
out to
now
Murdoch, the voice of
now
reason.
that was in 31.5 minutes a game. And you don't think Miller's going to give you at least about 15 a game?
No,
We're not gonna
Bro,
compare no
Miller is gonna do everything that
draft
Hayward
credit
did,
to
but
no,
NBA
faster.
credit.
hell no.
That's crazy.
My fault, devastating. Go ahead, my fault.
It's a difference
No, we're not
between.
gonna compare no
Go
player
ahead.
that has not played one game of NBA.
Right.
Exactly. Keep it trill. Exactly. Keep it
No,
trill.
but Joey said he was better than Gordon Hayward. Devastating.
Yeah,
But
that's my
yes, no,
point.
no, no. Whoa,
That's
y'all say he
cringe
was not
worthy.
good. You know, whoa,
That's
whoa,
cringy, Joey.
I
You
mean,
know
I
it.
mean, but hold on, Dex. It took him 30, damn near 32 minutes to give you 15 points. That's a
15,
long
Gemini.
time.
15.
15,
Talk on it.
15,
Hey, look
15.
who he
30,
playing with.
32
Look who he
minutes.
playing with.
32
Look
minutes.
He
who
didn't
he
play with
playing with.
Melo neither.
He only played 50 games last year.
He didn't play with Melo neither.
Bruh.
How many was
Okay,
Well,
okay,
Melo?
so hold on.
who is Gemini
Okay, so hold
referring
on.
to?
Wait, wait, wait,
I'm
wait, wait, wait,
serious.
wait. Wait. The
And
season
Gemini can
before
talk.
that, he played 49 games and 32 minutes exactly. And he gave you 15.9, which is 16 points a game. And that was with LaMelo. So what are y'all trying to say? LaMelo
Yes,
didn't
Bro,
make him
yes,
better?
you do
yes.
realize there are third option scores in this league that's at 15, 16 points, right?
32
I,
minutes a game.
I
I'm
don't
looking at
see
32 minutes a
your
game.
boy averaging 16 nowhere close. Maybe like 10,
Who?
11.
I,
He
I
gonna
Who?
be
can see
9.
him. I
He
can
gonna be
see him
7,
getting
8,
16.
9, 10,
I
11
can
at the
see him getting
most.
16. I can
Oh,
see him
okay.
getting
Think
All
about
right.
it now. Think about it.
Listen, Gemini and Joey. I know you're not agreeing with Pope right now, but I'm kind of
I'm not.
slightly leaning this way because there is a lot of ball. And listen, we talked about this in nauseum that Hayward on this last year, so he's auditioning for a next contract. Rozier is auditioning to at least stay with Charlotte because Rozier is having too much fun in Charlotte with no responsibility, and we know what goes on down in Charlotte. And you got PJ Washington trying to get his next contract. Don't even mention Miles Bridges. So that's
Hey,
a
and listen,
lot of heat
Yo,
that's going on in Charlotte, and Brandon Miller is in the midst of.
thank
hey,
you,
listen,
Dex.
and
Dex.
Gemini, you wanna know
Thank
how
you, Dex.
ingenuous?
No, Dex finished it. No, he finished it. You're not listening to what he just said?
No. I agree with him, but I'm about to add on to it. That's why I feel like with Gemini, I ain't saying you know what you talking about, but this how crazy it sounded to me. You talking about a team? 1 year they had Miles Bridges, so he been behind Miles Bridges. He behind not Carmelo, Lamelo, who been also injured most of a good bit of that season. What's another coach? Then he come into the next season playing behind he been playing behind Miles Bridges. He in and out the lineup. He playing around other players like Rosie. He got to play behind, get the ball. They trying to develop certain players. They're not a team that's a winning team, and he's still giving you adequate numbers. And look, and what's his shooting percentage? Just remind me real quick.
It
Whoa.
took him
No,
How
no,
many
no.
three
shots
Hold
you
on.
think he
seasons
is?
No.
It
What's
You
his
took
gotta
field
him
goal
bring up.
three
percentage?
Hold on.
seasons. No, Joey. Hold on, Joey.
I did
It
this.
took him 34 minutes when he first got to Charlotte. It took him 34 minutes to at least give you 19.6. From that point there, and he in that season there, he only played 44 games.
What's his
So
shooting
no matter
percentages?
how you look at this,
What's his shooting percentages?
it takes him
What
so
is
many
his shooting
minutes to
percentages?
give you 16 points in the last two seasons. In the last
Gemini,
two seasons,
listen, we're
it
talking.
takes him
Listen,
32
you
minutes.
sound like a casual. You doing the same thing they did with LeAngelo Ball. He played 20 minutes and
Bruh,
had
cut
22
it out.
points. That's
You don't even
NBA.
do your
No, what's
research.
his
You don't even
percentages?
watch the game.
What's
You
his
What?
you watch
percentages?
highlights. You
What's
This
his
watch
guy just go
highlights.
to
You
percentages?
don't even do
Lonzo?
research.
This guy
What's
just
his
You
go
don't
to
even do
percentages?
research.
What's his percentages? You ain't gonna answer
You
that.
you give me the percentages. I got
I
the
don't.
stats in front of me.
You
You
got it
pull
in
up
front
the
of you, right?
stats. You put up the stats.
Bro,
I
listen,
don't
you
want to
doing
do
the
your
same
homework.
shit Dex
I
just
don't
did.
want to do your
I
homework
challenged you
for you.
about something. Now
No,
you don't
I
want to
don't
give
want
me
to
the
do your
answer because you
homework
don't want
for
to
you.
give the answer. Because you
No,
know you
I
gonna
don't want to
sound
do your
crazy.
homework for you. I'm tired of doing your homework
You
for you.
looking at bro, listen, you looking
And
at
I'm
it,
tired
right?
of doing your homework for you.
Listen,
Do your homework.
just for 2 minutes,
Talk,
grow up
talk
real
your
quick.
What is
talk
your
You look
your
point
no.
about
Talk
Hayward?
your
What is
topic
Oh,
and
man.
prove your
my
point.
question about here it is. What's here
Hold
with
on.
shooting percentages in those seasons?
Okay,
no?
look
I'm
it up and
saying what
say
is
it.
your
Look
point
0.2
it up
for
and
points.
say it.
Hayward versus Brandon
Look
Hold
it
Miller?
on.
up and
What
say
is
it
your
right
Yo,
now.
devastating. You gotta
No, it's
turn your
not even
mic
a
up.
versus
No,
Devastating. You
nobody.
gotta
no,
turn
Just
your
D,
mic up.
D, no,
cause.
D. No, D. Hold up. I'm tired of doing the homework for him, and I want him to do his
When
own
you keep
homework.
saying you
I'm
tired, bro,
tired.
you don't
Hold
even
on a
know me to
second.
be saying you be doing homework for me. What you talking about? I asking you a question. If you can't answer the
Okay,
question, cool.
you
Let
should be
somebody
able
else
to
answer
answer
it.
the question.
You should be able to answer the question.
You don't
You're
want,
trying to
bro.
prove your point.
Listen. Let
Prove
me
your
say real
point.
quick. You are not a
Prove your
child.
point.
You just
No,
gave us
prove
how
your
much minutes
point.
he had a game and how much he scored. I'm
Prove
asking you the
your
percentages
point.
because you already on the page. If you don't want to do it,
Up
cool.
and
But
state
don't try
the
to make it
fact.
seem like somebody else need to do the homework when you got it in front of you.
You
But I'm gonna look
because
it
you
up.
don't want to do it. You never
No,
want to do it.
because when you sound wrong
You never want to
again,
do it.
I'm gonna let you
You
know.
never want to do it. At the end
Well,
of the
I
day,
mean,
you never
it's
want to
like
do it.
this.
You never want to
Joey
look up the
Hey,
Joey
listen,
context.
feels.
You
I
never
looked
Listen,
up
want to
the
look up
homework
the
when you were
stats
wrong
and
last
actually
guys.
time.
quote
You were
it.
talking about all
See,
that dumb
don't
shit.
come on, guys. Don't get too personal too long.
Clear this.
Listen, Joey
Let me.
feels. Listen, Joey feels that Brandon Miller just going to come in scorching, and he's going to turn the NBA inside out,
I'm
upside
not
down.
saying that.
That
I'm
would
not
be
saying
No,
too
that.
and here's the
I'm
thing,
not
Dex,
disadvantageous.
real
saying
quick,
that.
please let me say this.
That would hurt him. That would hurt him.
Her who?
Miller.
If he came out scorching?
Yeah, if he came from day one saying, "Hey, I'm starting this position," with everything they just got through saying coming on, he's gonna have pressure. Any little small
Right.
thing that
Right.
happens, back on the bench.
Right.
Yeah, and I agree with you, right? I'm also saying that if we look at it contract based as a business, because you got to remember this is a business. If I put money into an asset and I'm trying to get rid of that asset and try to make something back out of it, I have to showcase him. So he's just in a bad spot. And I
Okay.
think any rookie besides Victor would have had to go through that. Because come on, you can't sit Victor down. You got to make something work with Victor.
It
Okay,
doesn't
but
always
Joey, but
it doesn't always transition to the court like that. Go ahead.
okay, but D and Joey, here's the thing. The man has not shot over 42% from three since his Boston days, and he hasn't really shot 50% from the field since
You see
Boston
how they
neither.
do? You see how they
Hold on.
do?
Since
That's not.
Boston.
So hold on. That's not the argument you should be making. The point of argument is that you need to compare him to his peers based off the money. He's getting paid $30 million.
No,
He's
hold on.
not
No,
giving.
you about
Hold
to
on,
convolute
hold
the
on,
That's not what
hold
we're
on,
talking
hold
about.
on,
That's
hold
not
on.
the
No,
conversation.
because that.
That
No,
is
let
the
me
No,
point.
that's
let me
not
That
the
is
explain.
the issue.
conversation.
Let
That's
me
That
not
is
the
explain.
the
point.
issue.
Let me explain.
That is
Let
the
It's
me
point.
explain.
Miller.
Let me
It's who
explain.
better
Let me
between
explain.
Gordon
It's
Hayward
between
and
No,
Miller.
don't.
When
You
we
didn't let me
say
correct.
Miller,
finish.
D,
he's
Let me
bringing. No,
D,
hold on.
finish.
He's bringing
let
out
Let
D
Miller
me
talk.
points
finish.
out.
No, let D
Let
Guys,
me
talk.
guys,
Let
finish.
D
guys,
talk.
guys.
Let me
Look,
Y'all
finish.
Let
sound
D
like the
talk.
That,
Big
That's
that,
out
Bang.
of
Dex,
order, Dex.
you
Let
know
me
what
finish.
he's trying to
Let
do.
D talk now.
Let me
Let D
finish.
talk.
Let me.
Oh,
He
let
has
Hold
the
D
on. I
street.
talk
didn't even get
now.
a chance
Let
to
D talk.
finish.
I
Let
better
D
let D
talk.
talk.
Let D
Shit, what
talk.
happened to Murdoch
I
though?
never got.
Ass nigga.
I never got a chance to finish.
Okay, go ahead, Murdoch, because we sounding like the Big Bang right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought
All
that
I'm
was deep. My bad. Go ahead, Murray.
all I'm specifying is that it was Gemini. This is Gemini's argument. He's basically not outputting enough compared to what he's getting paid.
Yes.
Therefore,
That's man.
Gemini.
Y'all
Hold
been
on, hold on,
whack
hold
with
on,
this
hold
shit,
on,
man. That
hold
nigga
on.
ain't talking like that, man.
Therefore, that's basically what he's saying.
That's not what
Therefore,
he's saying,
That's
Gemini.
not.
Murdoch.
No, it's
Therefore,
not.
therefore, therefore, Gemini is advocating for Miller to start. That's because he can probably, because he's younger, you can get more out of him and you can grow with him more over a player that's already set on who he is and what he's going to be. That's
Yes.
all the conversation
Hey,
is.
Murdoch, listen, you came in hot and
Now can
wrong.
we move
That's not
on?
the
Now can we
conversation.
move on?
Yes,
Now can we
Murdoch.
move
That was
on?
my
No,
point.
Yes,
hold
that
on.
That
is,
was
bro.
my
Yes, it
point.
is, bro.
Let me get my
Oh my
point
God.
across.
Come on, man.
Let me get my point across now. Let me get a time to talk.
I'm
Murdoch,
trying to
that's not
prevent
the
the
point.
music because
That's
I
not
even
the
got
point
called
nobody
against
been
some
trying to
time.
make. He said that Gordon Hayward got 34 minutes and only put up a certain amount of points. What I'm saying is you can use that metric, but that's a casual take. What's his shooting percentages? Now, if you tell me he's shooting 31% from the three and 40% from the field, I'll be like, you know what? That sounds crazy. But if he's shooting better than 45% from the field, better than 35% from the three, that output is great. He's not a first option. He's not a second option. He's not even a third option. And he's giving you 16 points per game on almost 50% shooting and almost 40% from the three. Now,
Whoa,
At
whoa, whoa,
30
whoa,
million a
whoa.
Okay,
How is
season.
he
who
not
At
a
30
third
who you
million
option
a
on
saying?
that
season.
Hold
team? Hold
on,
on.
At
That's
hold on,
30
not
million a
true.
Murdoch.
season.
No
listen,
panic.
y'all
Who
be
are
trying
you
to
referring
sneak little
to?
conversations in, and
This
now what we
needs
talking
to
about?
No
be
panic.
Murdoch,
Who
you
are
come
you
in
referring
loud
to?
and wrong.
No
At 30
panic. Who are you
million a year.
referring to?
At
I talking
30
about
million
Gordon
a year.
Hayward. Listen, Dex, let me say this real. Let me say his percentages real quick. This Gordon Hayward over the past Austin 5 seasons. From the field, 47, 45, 47, 50, 46. From three, 32, 39, 41, 38. Does that sound like an inefficient player?
No.
You just
No,
said
those
he's not
numbers.
a third
Hey,
option,
listen,
my
hold
guy.
on, guys, please,
Hold
please.
on.
No,
Let
hold
no
on,
panic.
hold on,
Listen,
hold on.
Let me finish my point.
Based
let
on
no
the
panic
output.
Let me
breathe.
finish my
Because
point.
Go
listen,
ahead.
we accuse. Hold on, we got to be fair because we accuse No Panic of not using numbers, even though No Panic talk out both sides of his mouth. We understand, and he get hypocritical because now he's using numbers, but when you use numbers against him, he say it's useless. But we got to
Right.
give him credit for using numbers, and that is a good argument that he's presenting
No,
because
I don't
Gordon
want
Hayward
credit. I just
do
Do the
show
numbers
I
actually
just
efficiency.
want whenever somebody disagree with you, Dix,
Yeah.
or Gemini or somebody, I want y'all to let that person get their point out before y'all making a response. What
Yeah,
I'm
but it's
saying,
hard
no, hold on,
sometimes,
let me
man,
finish.
to hear the
Let me
quibbling
finish.
and you're
What I
off
tell y'all
base.
all the time is y'all
I,
depend on.
I,
Hold on, Dex.
I,
Let me just
no,
say
I'm
this.
just saying, I gotta speak for,
You don't need to
Let me
apologize.
let me just
Sometimes I
say
get
this.
out of hand. Sometimes
That
I
shit
get out of
crazy.
hand. Go ahead.
When you're wrong, just bro, ain't nothing wrong being wrong. Just listen. What I'm
You
trying
need
to
to tell
tell
yourself
Okay,
that.
so
what I'm trying to tell
what
you
do
is right
those
here.
numbers
What I'm
say
trying to
You
tell you is
talking in
right.
the mirror.
Gordon Hayward?
This is what I'm saying.
All
When
right.
we talk about basketball, certain things you can't just use numbers to explain it. But if y'all gonna bring up numbers and say in 34 minutes he gave you only 16 points, and like I said earlier, y'all bring up same thing with LeAngelo Ball. He gave you 22 minutes and 20 points. Okay, let's look at the numbers. What's the efficiency on those numbers? Almost 50% from the field, almost 40% from
We
three,
heard you,
and the
bro.
last
But
5
we not,
seasons. So
bro.
at
I
this,
don't.
no, hold on, shut up, let
We
me talk,
heard
my
you, bro.
nigga.
You just said
I
Let
said,
him
everything's
go,
no, because
Joey.
you just
Joey,
talking.
Joey. Let him go.
Let
The
him,
man is
yeah,
using
because
numbers. I'm
and Joey,
impressed.
you don't even know
bro.
what he
He's
be
talking to
talking about
Gemini,
No
in
bro.
40%
panic.
I
of
don't.
the
I
Don't
don't
time.
have
steer
to bring
yourself
numbers up to
off
talk about the
course.
sport.
So what
Stay
I'm
with the
saying is this
numbers.
right here.
Don't let
If
Joey
y'all gonna
get you.
bring up numbers to try to prove yourself to be right, bring
Who's
all the
y'all?
numbers in, like the shooting percentages. What that showed us in 34 minutes, he was efficiently getting 16 points
Uh-oh.
instead
It
of
also shows
Oh,
that they didn't
I
have a
can't even
winning
finish
Uh-oh.
my
No
record.
point.
panic coming with them numbers, man.
nah,
I
Y'all
purple
gotta
can't finish
bow
baby
my
here.
point
down.
for
Purple
shit.
baby
Also
here.
shows that. No
Whenever
panic
I
had
write
a
about something,
No,
I
Dex.
always get cut off.
You're not right, bro.
Hold
Stop
on,
it.
look, man.
Oh shit.
No.
Purple. What was the numbers giving you again?
I said with the numbers Gordon Hayward had and Terry, this team was below 500 anytime they did.
Yes.
But that don't mean.
Exactly.
But listen,
Oh,
If
that's
that does not
that
have anything to
and
do
that
with
and
the
that's
conversation
another
we
and
having.
that's also another reason why PJ is not getting paid or getting the looks from other teams because he's out because he put up good efficiency right on a bad
Yes.
team and
Yes.
nobody's not looking
I
to
agree,
pay
Murph.
him.
Hey, hold on. I think
Listen,
y'all.
Same
efficiency,
conversation.
Let me
efficiency
say
on
this.
a bad
I
team is
agree,
not the
Murph.
same as
Okay,
high points on a bad team.
this
Y'all
is my
keep trying
whole
to move
point.
the conversation
Let
from
Pope
here to
breathe.
Right.
here
Let
to
Pope
here
breathe.
instead of keeping it a buck.
Listen. This is my whole point, though. Is the fact that, like y'all say, the guy, Gemini, he say the guy only averaged 16 points, 15 points, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
He had to do 30 minutes. It's to me, it's sad that you pick somebody at number two who play the same position who can't take this nigga spot who's trash to me. He's all
What are you
I think
right,
he
talking
can.
about?
but
I
he
think he
trash.
can, Pope.
And
I
so
think
it's
he can
like,
though, Pope.
damn, cut. I don't think he can because he showed he can't even put up them numbers in the summer league.
You didn't
He
see a
can't even
26
put up
point
them.
game?
He can't even
Good
be that
point,
type of
Pope. No,
efficient.
that's a good
He
point.
he can't even be that efficient in a summer league, nigga. He
Is
having
it?
hard troubles
He's
doing
coming
that.
from
And
college.
luckily, he put up that 26 points and they set his ass down, which was some clown shit. It ain't like he showed you good enough. Y'all niggas is over
No,
in the
no,
summer league.
no.
No. He didn't
No, they
show
won
you
the game.
enough
They won the
to where
game,
you
Pope.
comfortably
They
can
won
say,
one.
all
Going
right,
in
you can
on a
sit down.
rookie
You
that
don't play the
hasn't even
last game
played
of
a
summer
game
league when
yet.
we ain't got no W's. Now, how
Okay.
about we try to get
They
a
don't
W
need
at
a
least
W.
and you play
Okay.
all out?
I
But you
actually
know,
support the
Bro,
move
No,
Pope.
I
that he
agree
had
with that.
like
What Pope just
Pope.
said. I
bro.
think it's a sham for them to be shutting down players after one game
Well,
prior
he
to
But
them not really
no,
showing
no.
much.
But hold
he
on,
played
Dex.
like
But hold
5
on, Dex.
games.
What
I don't like
He
what I
didn't show much.
literally but Murph said but Murph gave my
We gotta
topic.
get out
yeah,
there.
same
But
thing. I support the
wait
Wimbenyama shutdown.
wait Big L for 1 sec. Wait Big L for one sec. Merv literally pointed out what my topic was and what my basis was off
Man, nigga,
of
you
the
understand this
salary.
shit.
Man,
man, come
bruh,
on, man. You going
bruh,
back to that? We going
That
back to game. I want to kill on his game. He ain't good
Yeah,
enough
that's
to
why I'm
take
trying to
Gordon
say,
Hayward's
man.
I
Like,
spot.
think
I
he
don't want to hear
can,
about
and
all that
Big
other
Al
wrong
got
be
bullshit.
it.
wrong, bro.
Miller
Like, he just
versus
ain't
Well,
nothing wrong being
I
wrong.
tried. I tried to give the panel benefit of the doubt. One
Big
He
more,
L,
my
you
ain't.
hand is
got
on
it.
the button.
Big
He
L,
ain't
you
good
got it.
enough to take. He ain't good enough to take Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward, 30.
I think
Nah,
he
How old is
can.
Gordon
I
Hayward?
think he
right
can.
Hey,
now,
listen,
I
right
and
think
they
he
now,
can.
right now, right
they
You
now.
don't say
think
nothing
he
about
can?
PJ
Yeah,
Washington
no,
okay.
playing the
no,
same
no,
amount of
no,
minutes,
no.
averaging
I
last
disagree.
shooting
He's not good
11
enough to take
Brandon,
over
points.
Gordon
Brandon might
Hayward right
prove
now.
you wrong twice this year. He proved you wrong in the G League.
Prove
Okay,
me.
hold on, Big Al.
He said he
Go
was
ahead.
trash. He
Your
couldn't
mic is
perform
low.
at all. You can't hear me?
I
I
can
don't
hear you
think Big
better
Al
We
can
can
now
hear
answer
that
you
you
all
got
that
now.
for
closer.
us, man.
Okay, overall game. Overall game. Go ahead.
Hold on, let Big Al breathe a little bit, because we ain't heard
Oh,
nothing from him.
Okay.
He's a devoted Charlotte fan.
Yes.
No, that's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
So
Nigga
so
devoted
Pope.
on the
So the
side.
thing is, in G League, Brandon proved you wrong. As much as you want to say he
He
trash,
proved me
he proved
wrong.
you wrong.
Summer League,
Yes.
not G League, Summer League.
Summer League, my
He
bad.
didn't prove me
Yes, he
wrong.
did.
Brandon
He
How?
prove
said
a
he was
Cause he,
motherfucking
trash.
thing.
cause he scored 26 points.
He said he was trash.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, okay. They
He
stopped
is. That don't
Wimbyama.
mean you know how many
Wimbyama
niggas.
ain't do nothing.
What? Say it again.
Wimbyama. They set him down after one game of
Listen,
producing.
listen.
And that's a sham. And
This
that's
is
a
the
sham. They shouldn't do
And
it.
but now I'm
time
not
out.
saying they. Let me say this. I'm not saying Brandon shouldn't have been playing after that 26 point game. But
Right.
the fact is, he performed. He
Okay,
stepped up.
time out. Let's go
When the
back.
fuck did he
This is my
perform?
premise. Because this is what my discussion is predicated on. 2017. This is when I got into Summer League. Prior to that, I didn't really know much about
It
Summer
wasn't
League. I'm
on
gonna be honest
TV.
with you.
That's just
Yeah,
basic.
a lot of people wasn't watching it.
2017. Let me explain some names in Summer League. Ben Simmons, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma,
Donovan
Josh
Mitchell,
Hart, Donovan Mitchell,
Trey
Jason
Young.
Darion
Tatum.
Fox, Jason Tatum.
Trey Young.
Brown? I think Jalen Brown played that Summer League.
Yeah,
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
yeah.
Hey, let me say
And,
this, Dex.
and Markel Folks.
Let
But
me
you
say
understand
this.
what I'm getting at?
Right,
It
but
was
what
They
does
didn't
that
crack.
shut
have to
these
do with the
players down.
property in China when it comes to Charlotte being a bad organization?
No, but
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying is
part
that
of it.
I'm talking Summer League. I'm only talking Summer League. They did not
Okay.
shut these people down. They played until the end.
I
And
agree.
these
Well, no, they
players are
shut Brandon
winning.
Ingram down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
because he
shut
got
Brandon
hurt.
Ingram.
Wait a minute, he got
Yeah,
hurt. I
but he
said
was able to
injury.
come back. But they didn't want him to
But
even
that's
come back
different.
after that.
Scoop probably could have came back. But I'm
Yeah,
saying
for
if you
sure.
get an injury, I understand. That's no holds barred. You get an injury, right? Because you got to protect your asset and your commodity. But no injury and you shutting people down,
Oh yeah,
I
who's
don't
back?
understand that. And you ain't getting 50. Now if you got 50, I might reconsider. But
Right, like
26? How many
Keegan
times have
Murray
we
went
saw
out.
26? Go
Right,
ahead,
come
Paul.
on, man. You see 26 from niggas who undrafted. Like,
But
like,
Dex,
like,
but
come on.
Dex and
That
Paul,
ain't.
I'm talking about the 30 mil. I'm going off of the 30 mil clip, and Merv did point that out. That was more.
Oh man, you still talking about that?
No,
Okay,
Yes.
all right,
we
cool,
gone from that,
cool.
Gemini.
We
We got to
got
get
you. All
closure on
right,
that, brother.
we
We got to
got
get
you.
closure on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cause
we
a
got
nigga
you,
been
bro. He
wrong.
get, he
That
getting
why you
30
gotta
mil.
talk about him
You
more.
know
But
who
how,
gets 26 who ain't drafted? Point guards. Because they got the fucking ball in the hand all the time. That's who get 26. But the big guys, they don't get those kind of numbers
That's some
because they
cap
don't have
Man,
the
shit.
kind
please,
of
that's a lie.
Jabari
they
That's
got
a
Smith
to
lie.
don't play
respect.
20. He
It's
had
the truth.
33.
It's
That's a
the
lie.
truth.
That's not the truth.
wait,
That's
wait,
not the
wait,
truth.
Jabari
wait.
Smith
Hold
played
on, no
20. He
panic.
had 33.
No panic with numbers again. Go ahead.
I said Jabari Smith being a point guard. He
Oh,
had
here you go.
33.
Here you go.
He was
I said
averaging 30 something.
undrafted. I said undrafted. You didn't hear that part,
Yeah,
did you?
he did say
Matt
undrafted. He
McClung
did say
had like
Hey,
undrafted.
30. Like he been an MVP.
Who? Who?
Champagne
He's
ain't
a
a point
guard.
guard.
Crazy.
A
Who?
bunch
You
of
talking about
it's a
off
bunch of
guards?
guys.
Off guards.
Most of the better players
But
that
they been in
shine
a
in that
goddamn
shit is
year
undrafted.
team on the team for a year.
Who
He was playing in the G League. The whole
who
team has been together.
who is the top best summer league player right now?
Cam Whitmore. He won the
Really?
MVP.
Jabari Smith, in my opinion. He was
No,
balling out.
I go
Nah,
if you saying best
the
as in
dude
like
from
who got the
Houston. No,
MVP,
the dude
Cam
from
Whitmore get
Houston.
it.
No, yeah,
That's
the dude from
Jabari
Houston.
Smith. That's Jabari Smith.
No, not Smith. The other dude with the Rockets. The other dude with the Rockets.
Sagoon.
Cam Whitmore.
Cam
Number
something.
10.
Yeah,
Number
Cam
10.
something.
Cam Whitmore.
Cam.
Cam Cam Whitmore.
He averaged
But he
his
he
game
he
was
was
averaged
better.
20 points a game.
His
he
game
do as
was
You
good
gonna
better.
as
tell me this man
His
ain't
Jabari
game was
Smith
better.
though.
I've been watching some league. His game was better.
his game all
Oh, you
around.
saying
was better.
overall? I'm talking
Yeah,
about point.
overall player. Who is Mr. Summer League right now?
Get
Your boy with the Rockets, Cam.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
he
If
he
you
he,
talking
he
about the
played better.
rookies
Players.
alone,
Come on now.
rookie.
if you talking
You
about the
talking about
rookies alone, it's hard to
I
tell
think
because
the center for
Hunter Swin
Miami.
get hurt earlier.
If I had a vote, I'm
no
voting the center
Imani
for
Bates.
Miami.
Imani Bates, the champion, the nigga who was the third leader on the championship squad, the summer league, the Cavs.
Yeah.
He's been the better performer all through. He damn near averaging a dub out
I
there.
got a
Got better
qualm with that
numbers. He got
because
better numbers.
Don't
he
don't don't sleep on that center for
let me
Miami.
say
Do
this:
not
Imani
sleep
don't
on
play
that guy.
defense. He does not pass. He
The
doesn't pass at all.
the
Who
next
don't
guy
pass?
that I will put the next
Imani
guy that I
Bates.
will put
That's
is
not
the
true
one
at all. You ain't
is
been
the one
watching.
from Miami.
You ain't been watching.
Okay,
The
evaluate
Hey,
his
Paul,
is
they,
Miami.
they
his
don't
talk
be
about that.
watching. They
He
just
does
be
not
talking
pass.
from the local.
You ain't been
on
watching.
YouTube.
He been passing all the whole time. He played. He
Okay,
like the
well, let's
third. He
bring up
like
the
the third or
numbers then,
fourth
my nigga.
option. He like the third or fourth
Okay,
option,
all right,
homie. So
all right,
you
Paul.
don't know what you're
All right,
talking
Paul.
about.
You don't know
So
what
No,
you're
Big
talking
L,
about.
Big
You
L,
called a
Big
nigga.
L.
You called a nigga out because his father. So shut the
and,
hell up.
and the nigga been slapping, and he got blocks and all kinds of shit, slapping niggas shit off the backboard. So you really don't know what
Okay,
you're talking about. And
okay,
he
No,
and like
Big
I
L.
said,
whatever, dog.
and
Whatever,
he's got the
The
most
other guy
minutes.
from
whatever,
Miami is
dog.
the next one.
Yeah,
Yep.
he one of the
You
main
don't know what the hell
players.
you're talking about, Paul.
He's the top 3
You
player
say all
on the
kinds of bullshit
undefeated
on here.
team in the summer league.
You say
Yeah,
all
yeah.
kinds of bullshit on
So
here
yeah,
all the
so
time.
he don't got this and he don't got that, but he
All the
just a
time.
big part of the championship squad of summer
All
league.
the time. This summer
And
league, my nigga.
your nigga Miller, he's a big part of the defeated
Whatever,
squad.
dog. Whatever. He
The
passes.
opposite
He
of
I can
blocks
tell
he
his
the
shots.
footprint
opposite of
now.
Bates.
I see what Pope
Rebounds
did. He trying
and
to
he
dig under
scores
the skin.
on a team without point guards.
Pope is
he
getting
the
vexed.
Who is
he the opposite of Bates.
who is the
Okay,
Miami
we'll see
guy?
what happens this year.
Who is the Miami
Bates.
guy?
The Miami drafted the guy Junior, the 6'6". They drafted him as a power forward, but 9 times out of 10 he's going to play the small forward for Miami.
He talking about
And
Jaime,
Who?
but he got hurt. Jaime Hawkins Jr.
yeah,
Yeah,
He
he
got
has
hurt.
a
Oh,
better overall
Jamie
performance.
hey panel, let me
Dwayne Hawkins' son?
Jamie got hurt,
Yeah,
man.
hey
Oh,
But that
let me
center,
ask
I
y'all
forgot his
something.
name.
Let me
That
ask
center
you
for
something.
Miami he's gonna be good.
Cause I really cause somebody in the chat we need to correct them real quick. We need to get him right. Andrew McMeans. We need to get him right. So
July
y'all
17th, 0
please
point.
please tell me why didn't Lamelo start over Devontae Graham? Who would like to enlighten him?
Because Clifford is
give
hard
it to
on
Big
rookies.
No, it
L.
wasn't
Give it
Clifford.
to
That was
Big
James
L.
He ain't
Borrego.
even been the coach,
Clifford
bro.
wasn't
Oh, that's
even
not
there.
That was
So
James
okay,
Borrego.
he's next somebody who know what they talking about.
So
Nigga said-
Borrego doesn't play rookies like that either. That was an issue
Well,
because
it wasn't even
it was
Borrego.
fouling
It
a lot.
wasn't Borrego because
It was because he was
Borrego
fouling.
he liked Lamelo. I think it was more. I know he played. It seemed like he played Lamelo, but it was more the executive staff that had that to do because before Borrego even had an opportunity to shake Lamelo hand, Mitty was up there talking that bullshit, talking about he gotta earn his minutes. He ain't gonna be given nothing. He have to prove himself and things and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Something that he ain't never said shit.
Devontae Graham and Borrego boy, they give him a contract, and Borrego been trying to make sure he play into that contract. That's to me.
But
That's
even
because he had
before
a
that, what I'm
favoritism.
saying, to start Borrego on that road to ignorance was what Mitty said at the press conference prior to LaMelo putting on a Hornets uniform.
Yes.
No,
He
I
already
get
laid
that.
the
But what I'm
groundwork.
saying is, Borrego he bring Devontae Graham into the not into the league, but he bring him up under him. He's like a trusting hand on the court.
Yeah, he was his pet.
There we
I agree. He
go.
was his pet.
Now we starting it. Okay,
So
because
he
this
had more
is
trust in him. But I mean,
okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so in my opinion too, Andrew, is the fact that they didn't really want LaMelo to fall to them at third. They wanted Wiseman. They really believed in Devontae Graham.
Yes, they wanted Wiseman. Yes, they did want Wiseman. Charlotte did want Wiseman that year.
Hear me still, but can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they didn't believe in Melo like that until he showed up in camp. Because remember, Melo didn't get a summer league to showcase like Brandon Miller. He didn't get a summer league to show that he was
You're
head and
wrong on that one,
shoulders.
Thunder.
He was
Indiana
head and shoulders.
wasn't starting Halliburton, and Timberwolves wasn't starting Ant-Man.
Damn, I was. Did we both talking?
No, I
But
was
no,
just asking the chat. Go for it.
all right, thank you. And so yeah, I believe they believed high in Devontae Graham. That was that like No Panic said, that was James Borrego protege. And if you listen to him the whole season, at the when he went on for the interviews at the end of the games or whatever, he always bigged up Grams no matter what. Like that was his guy. Like everybody, when they calling him, what was
TB.
they calling?
TB.
Yeah, Tay Bay or something like that. Yeah, Tay Bay. That was his Tay Bay. So that's why Lamelo didn't start over Devontae Graham. For your information, my guy. But this is a new day and age. They got Clifford.
So what you think, Purple? Because Purple be in the corner sometime.
What?
Just
Purple
draft
breathe
a
for a sec.
rookie when coaches draft a rookie in the late round, then maybe so about starting them, then maybe so like a Tayshaun Prince, then maybe so. But when you draft somebody at 1 or 2, they're usually for sure automatic starters. 1, 2, 3, those guys are for sure going to be a cornerstone piece of your franchise, not a role player. Never really has anybody in basketball got drafted at number 1 or 2 and 3, except for Lamelo, and we just gave the reasons why. Lamelo, the only guy that I have ever seen have to sit the bench.
Okay, now Purple, what's your opinion,
Anthony
Purple?
Edwards. Anthony Edwards sat the
Anthony Edwards
bench.
did.
But
He
Thunder
did.
is wrong though. Thunder they didn't have a whole bunch of rookies that's starting out the gate. Now, if they had rookies starting, they didn't start out the gate. A lot of those rookies got opportunities based on people catching COVID.
Yes.
Yeah. So outside of that, what has
Yeah.
been the trend? If
No,
you
it's,
get drafted one,
it's no excuse,
you're gonna
Andrew. It's
start
facts, nigga.
no matter
Facts.
what.
Hold on.
I'm looking at it.
What you looking at, bro? Because your,
I
your
said,
your mic is a little low, pimp.
oh my bad. I said I'm looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves starting lineup in 2020, and Anthony Edwards didn't start. He didn't start.
No, he didn't.
Wow.
Damn, your mic. That's your mic. You done bought it up for real. You scared me. That's AI technology. Oh
Somebody
God, I
mute,
gotta kick
Mute,
you out.
mute him.
him, 'cause that
Mute
shit
him,
be
Dex.
doing
That sounds demonic. Yeah, that sounds demonic.
Wow. What was
Okay,
that?
okay, Purple, breathe, cause you haven't breathed said nothing in a while, Purple. You
I
been in the
mean,
corner.
Can y'all
I
hear me better now?
really do. I wish.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, he's back. Never mind.
Hey, and just
Yeah,
to
I
add on
was.
to it, remember he said very
Like,
few
drop the link.
top three picks come off the bench. So even if you
I
can
get,
add in Anthony Edwards,
but
he's still one of few. But go ahead.
but it
Okay.
also depends on the situation of the team as well. So
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards just walked in a situation. One, it was COVID, and two, basically also as well, they had some players there that were ahead of him at the time. So he had to work his way through the starting lineup to go start, and he didn't start until February.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean his points still stand about just being a few.
So out of 10 drafts, 9 of them gonna start.
Yeah,
off the
pretty
bat.
much.
Right after the draft, they gonna get on.
Shit, even Lonzo get the keys, not handed to him, but even Lonzo been starting when he first come in.
Man, damn near
Yeah,
every
but that's
if
rare
you
though. I'm gonna agree with Pope. That's kind of rare that a
Yeah.
number 2 really. I mean, not agree with Pope, but that's
I
rare
mean,
that
you
a
agree.
draft pick,
Ain't
a
even no
rookie,
argument to put on
come
that.
in starting when you got
Jalen
veterans
Brown
ahead of
didn't
him.
start.
It has to be.
yeah. So if
It has to be
if y'all want to
extenuating
point out,
circumstances.
if I want to point out the 2 and few out of hundreds of thousands, number 1, 2,
Hey,
3
go
draft
for it
picks,
then. Shit.
y'all pointed out 2. Y'all pointed out 1 nigga, 2 niggas.
That's
Hold
why I
on.
be
Let me get
saying
this
like they
straight.
be
Yeah,
trying to
we'll throw
find an
out
argument
Edwards.
in
We're
everything.
throwing out
Like, just be
Edwards. We're
wrong.
throwing out Edwards. We're throwing out him.
Okay, Purple.
You can do eras. So after that, what about Zion? What about John Morant? What about
R.J. Barrett. What about them
Lonzo
players?
Ball? What about all these players? Trey Young, Luca. So you can go. The list is crazy for 1, 2,
Bagley didn't
3
start.
draft
Probably
picks
about 20.
that out the gate starters. The only 2 niggas was, and I don't believe Edwards was like that as a rookie and went number 1. He shouldn't have went number 1 to me. Melo should have went number 1, but that's neither here nor there. So, and we already know, like most people know why the Hornets had Melo coming off the bench. Ain't no excuse. It was weird as hell from jump, and you seen Melo had to take his spot. But nah, man, when you're a basketball player, you get picked 1, 2, or 3. 9 times out of 10, you are starting.
Especially if you go into a
Especially on a
bad team
bad
that
team.
move.
There you go, no panic.
Yeah,
Exactly.
bad teams
Especially
got
when you go to a
better
bad
teams
team.
I would say I agree with that, y'all logic, but we talking about the Hornets.
Yep.
That applies
Thank
to
you.
everybody but the Hornets. Like, if y'all seen how, I don't know, I know Dex say Larry Bird. That's before my time, but I don't know what his fascination with Larry Bird is. As long as Gordon was over that franchise, nobody's coming in and starting over Gordon or Terry. He seems to love them a little too much. Any other person, any other owner, any other GM in this Brandon Miller situation, it wouldn't have been a question. Matter of fact, Gordon wouldn't have still been on the roster. That owner
There you go, Purple. Exactly.
would have
They would have
bought
moved away and made room for Brandon. Exactly.
yeah.
Okay, Purple though. But be honest though, if any other owner left Gordon, couldn't trade him because nobody wanted to take his contract, right? Couldn't trade him. Do you think Miller, and I'm talking about what you think, Miller is a better player than Gordon Hayward right now?
I mean, yeah.
How?
For what I'm
All
looking
right.
at.
Purple baby. Come on, Purple baby. You was doing good.
No, it's
She said
cool. No,
yes.
if she
Well,
believe
Right.
that,
It's like,
this is what I base it off of. When I'm
That's
looking
her
at
eye test.
yeah,
what's the
I'm not
name
gonna
to
The
it?
argue
eye
with
test will really fuck Brandon Miller out. To me.
that
right
ain't no
because
eye test. That ain't no eye test. That's emotions.
you see,
Oh, when I see
but do you,
Brandon Miller,
hey
the
Gemini,
eye
you see how
test.
she said yes? She said, yeah.
Exactly.
Nah,
Yeah,
Brandon
y'all,
said,
because
but
y'all
let her
all Scoop
breathe.
fans. Y'all
Let
all
her
Scoop
breathe though.
fans.
Let her breathe. Let her breathe.
yeah, but
Exactly.
Here's
Keep
why
going,
I
purple.
say
no, listen. Brandon Miller's nowhere near as good as
No,
Gordon Hayward right now. We need to stop that.
This
Dex,
man
let
is
her
this man
Dex,
breathe.
I
is
Let
wouldn't go
her
that
talking
far,
breathe,
about
though.
Dex.
I'm,
I
I'm
wouldn't
putting
go
a
that
pillow
far.
over here. I'm putting
You're
a
going
pillow
too
over
far.
here. Fuck that.
You're going too
Because
far.
there's no way
Dex,
you
let
can
her
say
breathe.
Brandon Miller right now from what we've seen as trained observers that he's better than Gordon Hayward. We cannot do that.
Oh,
man, like
no.
We have to get
I don't
pushed
care
back.
the man that dropped 50 in the last game he played. We
Oh,
watch him
man.
look crazy on the court. We watch him look lost on
He's
the
a
court.
rookie, you fucking clown.
Okay, so how's
Are
a
you
rookie
fucking
better than a
retarded?
fucking 10-year
Yo,
vet?
No, what's going on
You
in
hear
your
how you
head?
sound?
He is a
It was a lot of
rookie
rookies on
who
the
played
court,
in
Joey.
college.
Joey, there's a lot of
In
rookies out
college.
there in summer
Joey,
league.
hold on real
They
quick.
didn't look lost.
Hold on real quick. Joey, that's how stupid you sound.
Like, you
You
sound
just
retarded.
argued
He's a
that a rookie is better
rookie.
than the 10-year vet, but also saying he's
well,
just
he
a rookie.
is
Which
though.
one is it?
Purple baby,
You
please
sound
explain
stupid.
yourself, Purple
You
baby.
sound
Miss
fucking
Panic,
stupid.
It's a lot of people that
he's
didn't look
been
lost in
all-star.
summer league.
You
Like,
sound
But
fucking
was
dumb,
they
Trey
nigga.
Young didn't do good in summer league either.
And
So
listen,
explain
I
that.
You
want to hear,
sound
okay,
fucking
everybody want to
dumb.
hear Purple Baby. You want to let Purple
Yes,
Baby
let
do
purple
God
Purple
talk.
Baby. Do you
damn.
really want to
Please
defend
let
your
her talk.
statement that Brandon
Please
Miller
let
is
her
better
talk.
than Gordon
Y'all
Hayward? Do you really
embarrassing
want
the
to
say,
defend
channel
it
with
or
shit
you
like
want to
that.
leave it alone?
here's
Please.
why I say that. Because when I look at Gordon Hayward at his position, and I'm looking at the guys that are coming in, a lot of these guys are 25 or younger, under the age of 25, my fault, and are still fairly athletic. Gordon Hayward has never been a defensive guy like that. Now, offensive guy, yeah, he has been, but even with his offense that he still has in him, he cannot keep up with the output of other guys at his position. We looking
Thank
at a guy like Paul George. People are talking about he's old, he's cantankerous, and it's time for the Clippers to get rid of him at 33.
But Purple Baby, I want you to keep cooking. I'm gonna just ask you this question: did you see Brandon Miller playing elite defense in summer league?
I mean, no, but again,
Hey,
No.
Purple Bit, I'm gonna ask you this question too. Name
Let
10
her.
small forwards better than Gordon Hayward when
you
healthy.
said name him.
Name 10 better than him at small forward when he healthy.
Hold on.
I'll
No matter
wait.
if they play defense or offense, right? Just name
No,
them.
just better players. Just better players. Like
Okay.
RJ
10 better
Barrett.
small forwards than him.
Ingram,
RJ
DeRozan,
Barrett.
RJ Barrett.
Tatum, Brown, George, Leonard, LeBron, of course.
You should be able to ring these shit off.
Two more.
I feel like I'm forgetting somebody.
Because there's not 10 better.
Whoa,
There's
whoa,
not
whoa!
10
Hold
better.
on, my guy.
When healthy, there's not 10 better.
Let her
Let him
talk.
speak.
Let her
You
talk.
think Jeremy Grant? Hold on,
No,
let's
you
give it to
fucking
Nate. What about
because
Jeremy
that's
Grant?
proving
Is he
my
better?
point.
Bro, she didn't even get to
No,
finish
I
yet,
Let
bro.
think
her
All right, because
talk.
that's proving my point. If you got to
Let
think
her
about
Bro,
it,
she didn't
talk.
even get to finish, my guy. Could you wait?
Let her talk.
I gotta do something right quick.
I mean,
I
if
really
you
Calvert.
got
want
to
to
do
do something right
research
Let
to
me
quick.
give her
find,
two more. Let
if
me
you
give her
ask me
two more.
right now, name 10 better,
Let me
Giannis is
give
a
her
power
two
players that
forward.
more.
He
I
doesn't
feel
count.
like is one of the
Chris
best.
Middleton. Chris
Thank
Middleton.
you, Chris Middleton. I knew I was
Mikal
forgetting
Bridges.
somebody.
Andrew Wiggins. I
Yep.
go down the damn
All of
list.
Yeah,
them.
it's a
His,
bunch of them better than him.
Come
you're
on,
right.
bro.
Yes.
Use our
I
head
can
cases.
name
When
Butler.
20.
health,
I can
okay,
name
what's
20
the
of
last
them better than
Butler.
that nigga.
Andrew Wiggins,
what's
that's
the
a
last
question
Junior.
mark right there.
what's the
Andrew
last
Wiggins is a
healthy season
question
he
mark.
had 2
I
years
can
ago,
name
right?
30. I can name 30, and 3 of them will be on the
No,
bench.
listen, the last healthy season he had been 2 years ago, he was averaging 19 on almost 50% shooting and almost 40% from three.
2 seasons
Find
ago.
me small
Two
forward
I'm
seasons
that's
taking
ago.
better than
Keegan.
that.
I'm taking Keegan Murray over that nigga right now.
Trying to show
I'm
Yes.
you.
No, he's
starting.
talking about a
I'm
healthy
starting Cam.
season.
I'm
I'm talking
starting
about a
Cam
healthy
Whitmore.
version of him. I'm
Listen,
not
I'm
talking about the
starting
broken
Cam
down one.
Whitmore right now over Gordon Hayward. Cam
Thank you.
Whitmore
Hey,
Thank you.
right
hey,
now.
listen,
I'm
I'm
starting
listen,
and I'm
Kawhi
starting
and
Cam
Trey
Whitmore over
Good luck
Brandon
with
Miller
that.
listen.
too. Why you talking about thank
Good
you?
luck with that.
So you're
I
talking about. Hold on, hold
He
on.
only
So you're
averaged
talking
19 in
about.
what 2020
Hold on.
year.
So you're talking
And
about
almost
Gordon Hayward.
50% shooting, almost 40% from three.
two
You're
seasons
talking.
ago. 2 seasons
You're
ago.
And that's
talking.
when he been last healthy. I going
Hold
based off
on.
when he been healthy.
Hold on.
He only
Hold
played
on.
50
You're
games that season.
Hold on. I about to jump back on.
Yo,
Hold
thank
on.
you, Gemini. Gemini. Oh.
He only
Gemini.
played 50
Gemini.
games that season.
Gemini.
Oh my
Here's the thing right
God.
here, man.
So
Here's the thing right here.
Gordon Hayward is trash. Period.
Thank
What
you.
are we talking
No,
about?
I
He's
agree with
trash.
you.
Thank you.
And
I
Brandon
think Miller
Miller
should
can't
start.
even take his spot. So
No,
that
I
means
think
I
he's
think
even
he
more
can take his
trash.
spot. I
I
think
think
he
You
Miller
can
could
think
take
he
his
start.
can.
spot.
That's the problem. You think he can. They
Yes.
don't
But
pay you for
it's
thinking.
Charlotte, bro. It's
I
Charlotte.
know
We
he can
don't
take it,
control the
man.
pick. We don't control shit like
I
that.
think
There we
he
go.
could take that.
Somebody sound confident. Somebody say, I
I think
know
he
he
could
could
take
take it,
that.
man.
Like literally. I think he could take that spot, dog. Like real
But
talk.
It's
this,
Charlotte,
All right,
okay,
Gemini.
all
listen,
right.
just
We'll
because, hold
see.
on one second, guys.
That's gonna be
Let me
interesting.
initiate
We'll
something.
see.
Let me initiate something. Just because Brandon Miller might not start, we don't know if he's gonna start or not because there's still
Exactly.
moves are being made in the off season. And some could explode at any moment.
Man.
But even if he do not start, doesn't mean Brandon Miller is a failed pick.
No,
It
I like
does
how
not, man.
Dex.
No,
I
No.
like how Dex already been
no,
said he's
no,
okay with the
Dex.
pick with any pick they get. So I'm not on his head right now. I'm not on his head.
Nah, it's not even. It's not even. It's he'll fail pick just for the simple fact
Yeah, I think you gotta say
you
pause
going
on that one,
you
Joe.
gonna have Scoot
Pause.
Henderson. You're gonna have Scoot Henderson leading the Portland Trailblazers to the play-in by himself, being the lead dog over there,
Oh,
and you got
stop.
Brandon Miller coming off the bench for a play-in squad. See the difference? It's
Wait,
crazy.
you think school is taking him to the plane in that
Yeah,
West?
yeah. I do.
Oh, you better
With
come
that
back
roster?
at the end of
I
that
do.
season.
I do.
Mm,
Okay,
I
I
don't know
do.
about that, man.
I'm be
But
See, the thing
I
is,
got.
I believe in when I look at Scoot and I check Scoot out, bro. I damn near look at Scoot like he like right a tier. He gonna be a tier under Lamelo Ball in this league. He gonna
I
be
knew it.
right
He
I
gonna
there.
knew
be
it.
Them
better
I
than
them
knew it.
two
Lamelo.
is gonna be two top dogs in the league.
Poke. Here's what I will give you, Poke. Honestly, I will give you that he have adjusted quicker to the speed of the NBA. I will give you that much, and I'll give you that point. And if that's your preference, I will stand on that 10 toes deep with you. But past that of adjusting to the NBA speed quicker, past that, I say no. I think Scoop is going to be more injured this season than Miller will.
Gemini, chill, Gemini. Don't do that.
That's crazy. Okay, all right. Listen, I'm not
Yo,
into
how you
wishing
projecting
injuries
injuries?
on people and
How you
thinking that
No,
they're
projecting
gonna get
no,
injuries?
injured,
I'm
especially when
saying
they don't
no.
got a
I'm not.
history of that.
No, no,
That's
no, no, no,
crazy.
no, no. Wait, wait,
That's
wait, wait,
crazy.
wait, wait. Nope, nope, nope,
That's
nope,
wild. That's wild.
nope, nope.
That's
Hold
crazy.
on, hold on, hold on. I am going off of his game. He likes to attack the rim. You can go off of the history of the whole NBA of guards who like to attack the rim. They do get injured amongst
What,
the
John
season.
Morant and Russell Westbrook?
Yeah.
No, you got Wade, you
I heard
got
about John Morant.
Rose.
But they had
Come
a
on, bro.
significant run before they really got injured, though. Then they
yeah.
like just got injured right off the rip.
But they get injured from attacking the
No,
rim
Gemini.
is what I'm basing my
And
thesis
the
on.
thing is, listen, to me,
I don't.
what I think, I'm Purple Baby. Please cook after because I hear you about to cook. You got a good thought going, but I don't think none of them dudes who you just named, even Derrick Rose, and they was good playmakers, but I don't think they as good as playmakers as Scoot Henderson.
Ooh, I
That's
disagree.
debatable.
Purple, you
That's
got the flow.
debatable. Go
Purple,
ahead.
you got the flow. Purple, you
Yeah,
got the
I
flow.
would just like to say, until here recently, I will give Russell Westbrook credit for he did stay healthy and take care of his body pretty well. It wasn't until 4 seasons ago now, I think, or 5, when he got injured and stuff like that, to where he lost his burst and his athleticism and stuff. So I would say, and I'm a Derrick Rose fan, so I would say for the majority of his career, he did pretty good. Not too many injuries slowed him down, so I'm not worried about Scoot getting injured, nor am I ever thinking about it.
Man, I'm worried about that jump
And speaking
shot.
about Derrick Rose, didn't Derrick Rose just sign a new contract?
Me too, Murdoch.
He's a free
How y'all
agent right
worrying
now,
about Scoot jump
so
shot
I don't know
when
who.
Brandon
So I
Miller,
don't know
known
who
for the
he's
jump
being
shot,
picked
could have
up
dropped
by.
the jump shot?
Yeah. Also, I'm
Is y'all
not sure.
concerned about
I'm not
that?
sure if you guys know, but Scoot doesn't play with a reckless abandon.
He
I'm not
don't.
sure.
That's good. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Cook.
No.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
I'm not.
saying.
That's
He
not
don't.
my
That's why I
argument.
say he a better
Hold on,
Worrying
playmaker.
about a jump shot.
Scoot's not a violent. He's not a violent jumper. He doesn't play with reckless abandon. Scoot has
Whoa,
great
Slim.
balance. He has great core strength.
Yep.
I'm not sure what y'all kind of what they call that when you
Dog whistle.
Projecting.
you're projecting exactly. That's kind of what y'all doing with that.
Yeah, that's bogus.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing
I
wrong with
don't
projecting.
project.
No,
I don't
it's not
project
projecting.
Well,
anything,
That's
he's
not
but
the
hurt right
word.
now.
my
He's hurt right
my
now. We're going up for
my
that.
knock on Scoot right now is just his jump shot. I just want to see how he's going to improve that and look at that going
That
forward. That's
sounds
my
that
whole
sounds
knock on
Me
it.
that
too.
sounds dumb too. That sounds dumb. That means you
Yeah,
don't know
because the mid
basketball.
range is like with
Listen,
money. I ain't
when
gonna lie.
people say
Mid
shit
range
like
is money.
that, you either a
It
super
don't
new age player, you either a super. Let me. I'm about to cook this nigga on this. I hate when people say this stupid shit. Just like MJ said.
Go ahead, man.
Usually, no, because the GOAT himself, and you might have LeBron as your GOAT. I don't know, but whatever you got, MJ, he got to be your second best player, if not your first. So when a player tell you, bro, threes actually take away from my game. I didn't want to excel at that because it take away from my creativity of going to the hole, attacking the paint, this, that, and the other. Like he explained a whole lot of shit. If you ain't checked it out, you can go check it out. It's even on my channel on one of my shorts. Oh, okay. Just so
I watch a
when
lot of stuff with Jordan.
so if I quote some, I'm gonna let you know where you can go to see that, so you won't know I ain't bullshit. So that's honestly true, bro. People who got game like Scoot, you don't have to sit behind a three and wait. People who wait at the 3-point line of time don't cut when they supposed to, so on and so forth.
But that's not what he
It's
said.
bad
But
for
that's not
business.
what he
Let him
said.
No.
finish.
Hold on.
Shooting in general.
No,
I didn't
because
just say three.
shooting in general, he's a sharpshooter from mid range, so that sounds crazy. Because he's a sharpshooter from mid range. And he can shoot all right from the 3-point line. Like I keep telling people, y'all get it misconstrued because 27%, like I said, Melo Ball shot 27% in Australia in the NBL. And people who don't watch, who didn't know LaMelo Ball and didn't watch him before the NBL. Okay, so people who watched him for years knew he could shoot. They knew that 27%, that was admiration. That was smoky mirrors. If you get caught up in that, you're gonna get it ass wrong. So yeah, a person, especially at 18 years old, he could have had a bad because their bodies is changing, it's all kind of shit going on. You're getting stronger. This is real life. So y'all think niggas who and when you come in, you don't just have a professional jump shot. Everybody still gets better. So once he gets so then,
I never said he
won't
would.
get.
See, you're projecting things in my mouth. I never said.
No, but you talking about you worried about it. He don't need you. How you worried about something that he don't need to be?
I want to see. I want to see how it's going to translate and how he's going to develop it. That's the
Let
only
him
knock
give you
I
the
have on
definition.
Man, y'all.
That's
Hey,
the only
listen,
knock I have on Scoot,
I
but I want
had
to
this
see him
argument
develop.
with them many a
So
time.
did you say that with John Morant? When John Morant got picked at number 2, did you say John Morant you worried about his jumper?
Yes, I did.
Okay, then you sound stupid then, right? Because look at him now. You sound dumb then, right? So you sounded dumb then. Correct.
I don't. I
Correct.
still think it's.
listen,
I still
You
think the
sounded
jump
dumb
shot
then,
is
nigga.
suspect.
that shit
That's what I'm
crazy.
talking about.
They don't.
Listen, I bring up that
you're taking
exact
the argument.
same,
You're taking the
exact
argument,
same
making it
player
seem
on
like.
them, and they couldn't say nothing.
Bro, he's shooting. He's shooting regular.
That's crazy.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You're taking an argument, making it seem like I'm talking about them as a bad player. I'm not. I just want to see how he's going to develop in the NBA as a jump.
Now,
Right.
listen. If John Morant might, he don't never go have to form a pure 3-pointer. His game is always going to be able to translate into being unstoppable. People like Allen Iverson, so on and so forth. Even Carmelo Anthony. For a long time, Carmelo Anthony didn't have a 3-point shot like that.
That was a different
Hey,
NBA.
is that same brother?
It don't matter.
He developed the point.
Hold on, John Morant not in a different NBA, is he? Is John Morant in a different NBA, sir?
And the thing is, I never said John Morant's a bad player. I still think his jump shot is suspect. And I do I think he's a great player? Absolutely. But I still want him to develop even more. That's nothing wrong with saying that.
No, that's cool, but you're not worried about it.
John Morant shoot the ball.
Is Brandon Miller's jump shot suspect?
Yes, it is.
I don't think so.
Really? And guess what? When you shoot 19% in 3 games,
it's a low release. That's
when you shoot 19% in 3 games in the March Madness.
I'm glad you
Wembanyama did with that shot, right? You try to pull that shit up in Victor Wembanyama's face, he stuffed it, send it right back down.
Somebody else blocked him too.
Not comparing a guy that came out of G League to a guy that's coming out of college.
Joey, go sit your ass somewhere in the corner because you don't know what you're talking about. You just making statements.
What did he just
Don't worry,
say?
Gemini. Don't worry. It's the school fans. They're emotional tonight. They drunk and shit.
But no,
it's not
about being
school
emotional.
fans.
We picked Scoot to be the better player. He showed
Yo,
himself to be the
Joey,
better
you got the
player.
smallest
Y'all
brain
just
out of
upset that
everybody
Brandon
right
Miller
now.
ain't the better player.
He brought up the 3-point. Y'all got mad as hell. Like, relax.
No.
Joey, defend your guy.
And he proved it,
man.
These guys trash on your
think
dude.
both
I've
of
been
them
telling y'all
great,
since
man.
day one. The man can shoot the mid range. The man can create for himself. The
That's
man
2
can finish at the
points.
basket. The man can play make. The man can create. I tell y'all all that. All y'all keep saying is, oh, but the 3 ball don't go down.
Yes,
So
because the
fucking
3-point
what?
lead.
John Morant
It's a
had that
3-point
problem.
lead.
problem.
I've been telling y'all that since day one. Somebody else come here
Man,
and
they
tell
so
y'all the same
aggressive
thing I tell
against
y'all
Brandon
already.
Miller. Why so much aggression?
Because no, hey, Dex, this is my aggression right here. When I say the same shit Pope saying, it's like I talk in Spanish. Now that Pope saying them, it's like nobody really got no argument.
What are you talking about?
Motherfuckers scared to say some shit.
He cannot shoot, no matter if
I
it's
talk about like the Burgard.
You got
You are so
Purple,
quiet right now.
you got
Well, I'm
Joey,
not necessarily
and Big
saying.
Al was
I
here,
just
but he
want to see
left.
that. I just want to see him
So
go
you got
up.
some defenders, they just got to keep
backboard
up.
in the NBA.
You don't know what you're talking about.
How you shoot and hit the backboard only? What the hell? You can't shoot, my guy. What the hell is common sense?
Can I ask y'all a question?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Purple. You got it. Because you
Okay, Gemini, we get him to dick riding ass. Go ahead.
Shut up. Shut up.
Okay, Purple Bay.
Oh my God.
You
Listen,
got the floor.
Brandon Miller will not be a trade piece for a better player, so you can forget about that. Slim.
Oh, that's over.
I would like to ask y'all this. For those that keep saying, Scoot played in the G League, are we under the impression that, or do we understand that when teams draft talent, even though it's second round talent, they do send that talent to the G League? So he played against people like, I know y'all
First round talent too. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know y'all hate Book Knight, but he played against Book Knight. He played against quite a few Houston players. I forgot who those Houston players was. Same thing with Cleveland. Like, he played against a lot of these guys.
Max Christie, all kinds of players, all kinds of dope players.
And I understand y'all valuing the competition and being better. But again, a lot of these, including Book now, a lot of times these guys get sent there because these teams are looking and seeing flaws in their game, and or they're looking and saying, well, I can't put them against NBA level competition just yet because I need them to fix this, or I need them to accomplish this and whatever. So I just want us to keep that in mind. Like, I respect Scoop for what he did going to play in the G League, but what I also understand is he's playing against NBA level talent there. And to me, what he did, it was okay for his age, but it wasn't impressive to me.
That's
Let
what
me,
I
let me
kept
say this real
saying
quick,
about
Dex.
Scoot.
Purple baby, 17, 18. That's not
No,
impressive.
18,
Dex,
right?
no, Dex. I got this,
18.
Dex. I got this,
That's
Dex.
crazy. That
We
ain't
had this.
impressive.
We had this conversation before. The difference between going to college, as Brandon Miller did, and Scoot going to G League. Scoot going there at 17 and 18, right? The G League Ignite team is not built. I'm not saying that their team didn't want to win, but they're not necessarily on the court for like, okay, let's go win all these games. They're developing each of these players, showcasing and trying to work on certain things. So when they do get to the point where they can be drafted, they got tape out there without having to go to college route. In college, they don't necessarily try to develop players. They just want to win games. So Brandon Miller ain't, and this me throwing him some bill. Brandon Miller ain't necessarily was taught basketball in college. He been like, okay, this what we doing. This all we need you to do.
They taught him
But
how to
as
take
far as Scoot
charges.
is like, Scoot got to get his meals amongst other first round talent on the team. Also playing against
No,
other
that was
players.
his team. That was his team.
Blow,
That
blow,
was
No,
blow.
his
that's not. That
team.
was not his team, bro. I'm telling you,
That was
he
his
had other
team.
talent on the team.
No, but he still
No,
had
that
first
was
round.
his
He still
team.
had
It
first
didn't
round
start
talent on
out
his
his
team.
team, right? It didn't
That
He
start
still,
out
was
yeah,
school
he
his
still
team.
had
It
first
became
round
his
talent on
team.
his team.
Yeah, no, and it didn't start out his team because he was 17,
Yeah,
and his
Yeah,
coach
right.
come
said
on now.
his coach said he was amazed how he had grown men following his lead at 17 years old. How the grown men who was actually real grown men, not 19, 20-year-olds, but 24, 25-year-olds following his lead
Yeah, because
and
he a
shit
real
like that.
leader.
Like,
They trying
He
to
a
get a
real leader.
job. What you mean? I'm following his lead too.
yeah, I know. I bet you
See,
would,
Joey,
Joe.
you trying to
I
say
would.
everything to
Joey,
try
you
to
need to stop
deflect
that,
away
Joey.
from
So
us.
you're going to tell me right now, Joey, that with your lifestyle and everything that you do right now, if a 17-year-old came and gave you advice and said, let's go this way, are you
He
listening?
sound like he about 15 now.
If I know the hype is around him like it was, and I'm trying to get a job, bro. I'm not trying to get
That's
paid.
not how the G League work, bro.
But you
No,
already got a
sir.
job. You're already working with them.
Yeah,
That's
but
You're
not
already
how the
there.
money though.
listen.
More
That's
money
the
though.
G League
More money.
Unite. That's not how it works, bro.
No, sir. Sorry.
What do you mean? How? So explain to me how it works. You told me how it doesn't work like that.
Because
It's
in the
kill or be killed.
NBA, you can be somebody's best friend and possibly get a contract. But in the G League, they ain't putting that money towards developing and training those players on that G League Ignite team.
Right.
They got to fill out the
They
roster so
drafted
they
players
can
off
sign
that team.
anybody. There's thousands of niggas trying to get into the league right now. They can sign. It don't
These
matter if one
drafted
person
players
Scoot friend.
to the
He ain't
league
going to
off
the
that
league with him.
No, because them players was like that. They was young players
So then Scoot helped with that
Yeah,
though, right?
it's
Scoot helped
kill or
ain't
be
Scoop
killed.
help with that. I mean,
He
no,
did.
man. If you ain't got the talent, you ain't got the talent. That's
Yeah,
like
they ain't
saying
wasting no money because you friends with a nigga.
that's like saying Victor Wemby's his counterpart that was on his team, like Victor got him drafted. No, he didn't get him drafted. He got himself drafted.
Right.
But,
Joey, you got to
His
remember this,
defense got
Joey.
him.
no,
Joey,
come
you
on,
got to
Not his
remember this.
offense.
Joey, you got to remember this. In that G League Ignite team, the basis premises was either you're writing the menu or you on the menu. It's a doggy dog world in that team.
But
And
see,
only the cream rises to
I
the
would
top.
like to point
And
out
Scoop
this.
was a portion of that cream.
I'm
Yeah, so
sorry
when
about
y'all
that.
see
Oh.
Scoot shooting
But I wanted
27%,
to.
this man
Four
trying
players
shit. This man
got
experiencing his
drafted
game.
off
Man,
He's
that team,
growing the shit.
I wanted
players
to
got drafted
point
off
out
that,
something real quick.
including
Go
Scoot.
ahead, Purple. Go ahead.
Do y'all know that Dyson Daniels was Scoot's teammate?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah,
that,
he been
Purple.
in the G League Unite.
Yes.
Yep. But it's players like that. That's
That's
what
why I
Purple
say a
trying to
bunch
get
of
to.
first round draft picks
Purple
every
trying to
So
get.
year.
was Jalen Green, right?
Yeah. He was in there.
That's why I'm trying to tell y'all it's a
It's
developmental league for
players.
them.
He was going against them top dogs. He was going against players. Just put it this way: everybody who in the G League, especially who Scoot and them was playing against, they've been there and done that with college. They already smashed college. Like
Yes.
Book Knight. Book Knight already averaged 20 something in Connecticut, and they already smacked through college. So college competition is nothing to none of them dudes that Scoot Henderson was facing. They already smacked that.
And that's where I give you
That's why he
the
had looked so
speed of the
comfortable in that
NBA.
game in
That's
the
why
summer
I
league.
Yeah,
agree
we all
with you.
expected
He
that.
adjusted
You
adjusted
ain't expect
quicker
that, Joey.
to
You
the
Yes,
see
we
the man
did.
speed
was too
of the
small.
NBA.
All
Really,
that shit couldn't
bro.
shoot.
He
The
played the
speed and the
way that he
physicality.
did. The
Don't
speed that he
forget the
did.
physicality. That's important, my
I
guy. You
tell you,
keep
this
leaving
man
that
can
out.
create. This
Right.
man know how to operate in space. He know how to finish at the
Bro,
bucket.
that
And
guy
those are
Know
the
went.
how to
two
That
do
most
guy
shit
important.
at
disappeared in
NBA
the
Hold
second
on.
level.
quarter, my
Hey,
guy.
Joey,
Hold on,
and
hold
no
on,
panic. Did
no,
y'all hear what
no.
Gemini just said though? Gemini just
What?
told you.
What?
the speed and the physicality. Those are the two main
Yes.
ingredients to succeed right away in the
Yes.
NBA.
And that's why he
Really?
had looked so comfortable compared to Reggie
Really?
Miller.
So why he disappeared in the second quarter?
What you mean
Why
disappeared in
he
the second quarter?
disappeared? What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
He
What are
ended
you
the game
talking
with
about?
15
Yo,
shots.
I know the
15
game
Bruh,
shots,
Joey
you
15
talking
points.
about.
engage with
I
Joey,
know the
y'all. You
game that
can't
Joey
engage with
talking
him.
about.
Yeah,
You
he
cannot
know it. He
engage
know
with
it.
But
Joey.
Big
he
Bone-
I know
disappeared.
the game that Joey
listen.
talking about.
And
So
what was
so
the
you
shooting
so
percentage
hold on,
stat line that
Gemini.
game?
So you say
Yeah.
he disappeared? He disappeared?
He did. That's when he got the shoulder injury. Yes, he did disappear in that game. He did disappear within the second quarter. Joey is in that game on the game.
He disappeared, huh? How did he
Y'all, hey,
disappear?
listen, Pope, they
He
ain't watched the game.
disappeared
What are
and
you
then
talking? He put
Telling
came
you
up
they ain't
back for
watched the
the
15
game.
third.
shots and
I'm
made
telling
He
you for a fact they
disappeared
ain't watched
and
that game.
came back on the third quarter. And the fourth quarter, he showed up.
No,
Yes,
he
but
didn't
he
even play
He
in
did.
the
didn't
fourth
even play
quarter.
the
He
second
only
half like
played
that.
half the third quarter. He only played
Yeah, he played
not
half
even
the
half
third
the
Y'all
fight.
must be
quarter.
talking
Telling
about
you,
two different
these men do not
occurrences.
No,
watch the
no, I know
game.
what you're
They just
talking
be
about.
out
He only
here
played one
talking,
game.
bro.
They just talking, yeah, for
They
sure.
just out
bro.
here
The
They
second
talking.
they
So y'all
quarter,
think
talking
because he
summer league?
scored. What
Y'all
they try
talking
to
bro.
say
summer
is,
league or
I
G
know
League?
exactly what they're saying.
He
They're
took
saying
3 threes
because
and brick
he
2 of
scored
them.
13 points in the first quarter, and
Okay.
he only had 15 points total in
He
the 2.5
disappeared.
quarters that he played. That he didn't show up in the second quarter. No, he started
And that's what
assisting.
Joey is
Hold on.
talking about.
Yeah, but
No,
no,
let him
that's
finish
not
because he about to say
just
exactly what he's thinking.
just because you don't score the same amount a heavy big load like you did in
I
the
didn't say
first quarter don't
Right.
mean you disappear. And when you
I didn't
start
say that.
playmaking, see what y'all don't realize about basketball, what he did was perfect. It was genius. He set the tone for the team out the gate. He took the first 4 shots out the gate, and then he
Right.
started getting everybody else involved because now the defense is all attracted to every time he go into the rack, everybody's sinking in. Now everybody else
Exactly.
open. So now
Yep.
he started dishing the ball, and that's how he had 5 assists in 21 minutes too. That's what you forget to realize. So he didn't disappear.
That's
He just
nothing.
became a playmaker in the second
The
quarter.
game was mad close for the whole game.
Well,
What are you
No,
well,
talking
no, hold
Bro,
on, time out,
hold
time
on,
out.
hold
listen,
on.
you keep
But
trying
what
to pick
Joey is
at
pointing
everything this
out,
man
no,
telling you what happened.
Yeah, yeah,
what Joey,
No,
wait,
I'm
wait,
not,
wait.
bro.
What Joey is trying to
yeah.
point
You
out,
is, Joe. You can learn
Joey
something,
don't know
bro.
what
what
he's
I
talking
think,
about. I wouldn't defend him if
what
I
I
you.
Okay,
think,
guys, take
what
it
I
easy. Take it
think,
easy.
No, don't try to
what
say
I
what he's
think
Yeah,
talking
y'all,
Joey,
listen,
about.
if you ain't watched the game,
wait,
don't
let
talk
me
about the
What are
finish,
you
game.
let me
talking about?
finish.
Let him talk, bro.
What Joey is trying to point out is, with him being in the G League and knowing the speed, he was project. He wants to see more from him,
No, that's
Exactly.
not what
especially
Joey's
That's
telling
damn
me.
what
No,
he's
no, yes it
saying.
is.
He
Cause look,
said he
Damn what he's
there
saying.
was
disappeared
there
Even if
was
he's
there
in
saying
the
was
that,
slow
second
as
that
that's
quarter.
hell
what
don't
in
he's
sound
the
true.
basing
league.
the
Hold
Everybody,
on, hold on.
everybody,
disappearance
let
on.
Joey speak for
Thank
himself.
you. Like, damn.
Right. I don't know why he's
Look,
speaking for
nah,
Joey anyway.
nah,
Hey,
it's okay.
Joey,
Look,
Joey
nah,
Joey
cause
said
like
cause
he
to get
could
you
I
Gemini
disappear.
got
Gemini
you.
knows
He
what
I
I'm
said
got
talking
you.
Lamelo
about.
disappeared.
Gemini
I
knows what I'm
got you.
talking about.
Okay, then explain
Yeah,
it, then
okay.
But
Joey.
look,
Yeah, you
look,
explain it yourself. You're a grown man.
they started dropping on the coverage on him. They was going underneath the screen, and he had to take the three. And guess what
No,
happened?
no,
What
no.
Man, you
the
sound
hell?
crazy as hell.
No, you're still wrong.
What
Listen,
the
he only took 3 threes.
And it.
Yeah, and I was
And
in the
he
second
made
quarter, basically.
no, he made one of them, and it's
Okay.
not they was dropping on him anyways because they forced him to shoot.
All
So
right.
that don't mean nothing. That don't mean you disappear. He didn't disappear. He still was doing other things. It's not just about scoring, Joey.
Really, 5 and 6?
That equates to winning. You
Ooh.
understand? It's not just about scoring, sir.
Bro,
It,
5 and 6 is not all that, bro. What are you talking
so
about?
so it's
And
not
look, Matt, bro, he played
in
one half. He
21
played
minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes,
Come
nigga.
on, bro.
You don't understand what I guess you see. I know you don't
Yeah,
understand, but it's okay.
Joey, I think they got you on
Yo,
that one.
bro. It's okay though. Y'all wanna protect
Yeah,
him.
it's 20.
No,
No, it's not
Joe, you
protected.
always
Hold
going
on,
this protection shit.
Watch this. I'm gonna bust you out. Watch this,
That was
Joey.
a regular
Joe,
game. Like he
Yeah,
just
13 and 5 in 20 minutes.
Joey. He
That's
set the tone in
excellent.
the first quarter with scoring. Then the second quarter, he set the tone with passing, right, and playing
that's 4
defense the
shots.
whole time. And
That was 4 shots I'm talking about.
also listen, Joey, you got to take in mind, he also guarding Amon Thompson,
Yes.
who was a dog.
No, he
You
was
might.
not. He was barely
Okay,
guarding him.
okay. Look, Joey,
Joe, you don't even watch the game.
Joey, you
No, he
might
was
just just need to
barely guarding
stick
him.
to 2K. Hey,
He
just
guarded
stick
him
to
like
2K,
once
my
a
nigga.
couple, like
Stick to
10
2K.
possessions.
Stick to 2K.
Hey, listen, Pope. This man ain't watched the game. We been on scream that day.
Bro,
He been up here with us.
bro.
Nah,
You
yeah,
ain't
he
been
He guarded
watching
him
the
tripping.
every
game.
But
possession. Hold
Amon
on, hold on, hold
Thompson,
on.
Stats.
He guarded
Amon
him every
Thompson is
possession.
definitely a dog.
He guarded him every possession.
Bro,
What?
it's not about if he got him every possession.
Oh my God!
He
So
had
he did not guard him
assignments
every
on him,
possession. That's what I'm
just like he
saying.
had assignments on the other end.
Yes, I'm
Hey,
saying he did not guard him, sit in the chair every single possession. Yeah,
Jo-
make it seem like that. He
Bro,
didn't.
listen.
Joy,
It
that
was
wasn't
on
even
and
my
off,
point.
bro.
I'm telling you, he had to guard I'm saying Scoot Henderson while setting the tone. He had to also guard Amon Thompson, 6'7".
Well, I heard people saying that his shit wouldn't
That's why you
translate.
gotta watch the game, Joey.
Some people said his shit wouldn't translate to the NBA on this panel. I ain't gonna say their name, but some
Well,
people.
listen.
Say
Well,
what? Say that
forget what
again.
people say and forget about people talking for you. You got to know shit yourself.
Bro,
Exactly.
he was not impressive. That's my main point.
He
His shit
wasn't
was not
impressive,
impressive.
Amon
Yeah, hype that
Thompson.
shit up.
No,
Stop.
not
Eh, eh,
Thompson. He's saying with the speed, with him already being a part of the G
you
League,
keep putting words
you
in his
would
mouth.
think.
Why you
No,
keep? We
bro,
heard what he's
You
saying.
think the
y'all just
You
don't
keep
want to
Clippers
putting
listen,
be
words in his
bro.
mouth. Come on, Gemini,
No,
stop
he
doing that,
plays in
man.
the G League already. I don't have to say that. Y'all know that
All
shit.
right,
He
so
plays
Yeah,
in
okay,
the
yeah,
well,
G
if
League
he's
exactly.
saying
No,
already.
that,
no, no. So
why
you not
Why
why
did he
saying
if he's
come
that.
out
saying
and
that, why
Gemini
dress
he
trying
ain't
certain
had
to.
a
way?
problem for the
He
Twins?
didn't gain
The
nothing.
Twins ain't playing the G League. Why they haven't a problem for them?
Anyway,
Having what problem? Asur is eating right
it's
now. Asur
crazy.
is eating, my guy.
Why
He's
wasn't
Okay,
better than
why
Scoop,
wasn't the
my guy.
speed and
What are you talking
physicality a
about?
problem for the Twins?
He does the
And
same shit
they
Scoop
ain't playing the
does.
G
Fucking
League.
shoot.
you
Say that
okay? All
again.
right. He do
Does
the
he
same
not?
thing
Hold on,
school
does he
does.
not?
No,
Does
he
he?
doesn't. But this is
What?
okay. Okay. My guy, Joey. You Joey Crack. They probably call you Joey Crack in New York.
He ain't even watched the game. This man said
Oh,
something.
Joey
He moving
Crack,
insane.
nigga. That's your
He
new
moving
name.
yo,
insane.
how
You
much is
on
Scoop paying
crack.
y'all? How much is
Let
Scoop
me
paying?
ask you something. Hold on. Watch this. So who made it to who played the Cavaliers in the championship game in the summer league?
Bro, bro,
I'm
bro.
asking you a question. Come on, please just
Why
answer the
you asking me
question.
that question? I don't care about something unless what's his name is playing. It's
Okay,
no.
so you don't know. Just say you don't know. If you don't know, my G, I'm not gonna hold you to that. I'm
I
not
don't
tripping if
know,
you don't
bro. What
know.
the fuck?
Okay, so
I think
you
it was
don't
the
know.
Rockets. I think it was the Rockets. It probably was
Okay, so it's the Rockets. Okay, what team Amon Thompson play for?
the Rockets.
The Rockets. Okay, so the Rockets was the second best team in the summer league, right? This
Yeah.
is who Portland was playing against.
Yes.
Portland was up the whole time Scoot Henderson was playing. Do you know that?
But how much points? Say the
It don't matter. They were
Do
not.
you know
say the
that they was
points.
winning? Hold
Say
on,
the
wait,
points.
Joey. I just
Say
asked
the
you a simple
points.
question. I asked you,
Why do you say your
do
way?
you know that the Portland Trailblazers was beating them the entire game? They never had the Houston Rockets never had the lead not once when Scoot Henderson was playing.
Guess what
Did you
happened
know
when
that?
Scoop went out? Guess what happened when Scoop went out?
They came
They
back and
lost the
beat them,
lead.
right?
Why?
Man, like you,
They came
bro,
back and
Because
beat
your
the
them.
score
argument
was
is sounding
close. The
crazy.
score was
So hold
close.
on.
The
So you
score
don't
was close the
understand what
whole
I'm getting to
game.
you? So this is what I'm getting at you, sir. When Scoot went out the game, they was up by 8. You probably don't know that neither. I can tell you don't know what was going on. So they was up by 8 points when Scoot went out
Yep.
the game. And they was controlling the game. They had the game in control the entire game because of Scoot Henderson. Soon as Scoot went out, they came back, tied up the game, and the game was going back and forth. And then the Houston Rockets ended up winning the game. But I say all of that to say, and that was with Amon Thompson. He didn't go out until the like couple 30, 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter. He
Right.
went out then, but he played basically the whole game. So I said to say, even without Amon Thompson, that team was good enough to still beat everybody except for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And they was losing the whole time to Portland Trailblazers because of Scoot Henderson. And he ain't that nigga. Check
No, he's
yourself,
not.
homie.
He's
Check
not.
yourself.
He's
I
really
was
But
not.
saying,
Portland
like,
also
listen,
He's
won
really
the
not.
last
y'all
summer
gotta stop
He's
league.
letting
hurt.
people like
He's
Joey come
hurt,
up
my
and
guy.
talk because that shit embarrassing for the
He is
fans.
hurt, my
It
guy.
is. It is embarrassing though, because you really don't know what the fuck you talking
Y'all
about,
don't
Joe.
even
If
y'all
you
not
cool little
watching
youngster though,
play
you a cool
basketball
youngster. I
till
like
2
your
months
vibe.
from now. That's
I
why
like
y'all
your
hurt.
vibe, but your
Y'all
basketball
hurt.
knowledge
Y'all hurt because
is
Brandon Miller on the podcast in school is hurt. He on the podcast in school's hurt. So is the haters, man.
Huh?
It's like that.
So
It's like
what I gotta do with anything?
that's why y'all hating on Brandon Miller, bro.
Bro, no,
no.
listen, I'm gonna say this one more time, and that's it. I have nothing against Brandon Miller. The only negativity you're gonna hear from my mouth about Brandon Miller is strictly basketball based on who Charlotte Hornets should have picked. I believe they should have picked Scoot for every reason we saw. I believe Brandon Miller isn't better than the Twins for every reason we saw. So it don't have no. Listen, I said on the draft day, I said I would have taken both Twins before I took Brandon Miller.
For sure. I would have,
Now
yes,
that's a
definitely.
decent argument.
So
Now
that means
finally, that's a decent
that
argument.
will go over Scoot then.
That's a decent argument.
Finally, that's a decent argument. God
Yeah,
damn, you
because the
finally
school
got
was
one out of him.
So Scoot will be going fourth then.
no.
Yes.
No, Scoot would have been going second.
What?
Y'all sound crazy. Scoot,
Bro, Y'all don't understand, bro. Nobody wants a small guard no more, but that shit is going out.
I know.
Somebody want them.
Portland
All these,
Trailblazers did.
Bro,
all
they
these
didn't get rid of Lillard. They
Kyrie
had no choice.
Irvings and
Hey,
damn
if
Lillard's running around. Who don't want a small guard?
hey,
They
if a
don't.
redraft
who? You just
happens,
put
if a redraft
I'm
happens,
gonna run the list down.
who
Kyrie,
would be
Kyrie,
the last in the
Jalen
top
Brunson. Who else?
Jalen
Dame.
Brunson.
Who else? Trey Young. Who else about
He's
6'3"
fizzling out.
and
He's
under?
fizzling
That's
out. Hold
thriving
on.
in the game.
Trey Young is fizzling out. Trey Young is fizzling out.
Okay, but
It
Joey,
don't matter, but what
I
I'm
will
telling
say
you is
this about
you making
Scoot
him seem
game.
like small
He
guards is
plays
this
like
crazy thing. He's
6'5".
6'2" with a 6'9" wingspan. The same dimensions as Marcus Smart, who been defensive player of the year.
He
Come
don't
on,
know.
man.
He don't know what 6'9" wingspan means in
LaMelo cooked
basketball.
Marcus Smart and made him look like he
He
didn't
don't
deserve
know.
that.
He don't know.
Listen. You can say and think that cool.
He did not
What I'm
deserve that
telling you
shit.
is he has the potential at 6'2" with a 6'9" wingspan to be everything.
The
Marcus
dude not
Smart
even
is
6'2" though. He
defensively.
taller than 6'2",
Okay, and then
bro.
I have a player that's
and
6'9". Hold on.
He
I
about
have a
6'3".
player. I have a player that's 6'9" that has the potential to hit a Jason Tatum ceiling. What are you talking about?
Yo, that's crazy.
How?
No, you
Where
don't.
did you see that?
I'm taking that. I'm taking that.
Where did you see that?
That's crazy.
Brandon Miller.
That's argumentative.
Where you
That
see that
nigga
at?
said.
I'm taking that.
That
Where did y'all
nigga
see that he
said
was close
Jason
to?
Tatum.
Where did y'all see that he was close to D Rose?
Let me ask you this, Joey. If Jason Tatum Jason Tatum when he get drafted, who would have been drafted first? Jason Tatum coming out or Brandon Miller coming out? They had the same draft. Would it be a close pick?
Tatum.
How much picks after Tatum? If you drop
That
Brandon
wouldn't
Miller
even
in the
be
last
close.
5 drafts, where would he go number 1?
Wait, so hold on. So if you're saying that, then that means that D Rose will
Which
go over
draft
Scoot. D
in the
Rose will go
last
over
5
Scoot then.
years would he go number 1?
The last 5 drafts.
Yeah.
Number 1. I'm giving. Why you not saying number 2? Why you saying number 1?
1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead. Other than this draft, what other draft in the last 5 years he would have gone top 3?
I give him Lamelo's draft. He would have went top 3 in my opinion.
So you saying Anthony Edwards,
Lamelo,
Wiseman,
and then Brandon Miller. No, Wiseman
Lamelo.
should have been
Who
picked that
going
high.
for? Who going
Wiseman
for?
should have been picked that high.
Who going for?
Man, you crazy.
Wiseman? Come on.
Listen,
for
at the
that draft?
time, Wiseman, you saying Wiseman because you see what he is now.
Exactly.
So
No, I see what he did when he was
Wiseman
coming
at
out.
that
No, I watched
time was definitely the number 3 pick,
A
dude.
big man, Pope?
Who can do it all? He was coming out of high school. He
Golden
could
State
shoot.
changed
Let me
his
look at this
game.
draft.
Joey,
you said a
Golden
LaMelo
State
draft.
trying to change his game, and that's the only reason why he didn't work
Yo,
out.
That
with
shit
Golden
not
State.
working,
I
Gemini.
can't-
This man going to a
It's not gonna
championship
work.
grade team, and they try to make him Kevon Looney.
Because
That's
that
why he
shit
didn't
don't
work
work
out.
for them. That shit
Yeah.
don't work for them.
And listen, no
All
matter.
right, but
James
that's why
Wiseman
Wiseman didn't work out with them.
co-
That's the only
coming
reason why you saying Wiseman.
coming out of the
He's
draft.
coming. He's battling with Duran right now. Duran is looking like he might start over him, but they might play him together. I heard they might play him together.
Yes, they
What-
are looking to play him together on the same court. Yes.
But what people looked at James Wiseman coming out was something like he could be something like Joel Embiid. That's how they was looking at him coming out of
No, they
college.
was looking at him more like Bynum. No, they was looking at him more like Bynum, not Embiid.
Embiid is crazy.
They was looking at him more
So-
like a Bynum.
Bynum, I never heard that before, but okay, I'm not about to argue with you. But
Either.
Bynum, I never heard he can't shoot the 3 and all of that type of shit that James Wiseman was able to do coming out of high school.
No,
So his game was
they was talking
completely
about the
different than
motor, my
Andrew
G.
Bynum.
No, they was talking about the motor, my G, on the
Oh,
defense.
okay.
That's what they was comparing them to.
Okay.
That's why they
Wait,
picked
so
Bynum
you're not taking
over
Brandon
the
Miller
others.
over Evan Mobley?
No.
Hell no.
Fuck
What?
no.
You done messed up.
That song crazy.
This dude is crazy, right? Joey, stop, bro.
Okay, I got one better. 2019. You taking him over DeAndre Hunter? Come on, stop it.
Yeah, I would.
Okay, then.
Listen. Let me go. What draft that is?
That's 2019.
2019. Let me see.
That's John Morant, and Zion.
Yeah, I would take Miller over DeAndre.
So Zion,
if
he
top
went 3rd,
right?
No,
Top 3 would have
he went
been
fourth.
John
He
Morant,
went 4th.
Zion, and
Oh,
RJ Barrett.
you're not making sense then. Top
Nah,
3, sir.
I can't take
RJ
Brandon
Barrett.
Miller over John Morant. Come on now.
I
You're
would
not
have
taking
taken
Brandon
him.
Miller over
I
John
would
Morant.
have
You're not taking
taken
him over
him
Zion, and you
over
ain't taking him over RJ Barrett. coming
Wait
out
a
of
Yes, I would have
wherever
minute.
they coming
taken
out.
him over RJ Barrett. Yes, I would have. Yes.
Coming out
Yes,
of
I would have.
college?
Oh no, yeah,
Yes.
Wow.
RJ Barrett. Yeah,
That's
Even
RJ
crazy.
now,
Barrett.
what?
That's crazy.
You think
Yes.
he gonna
Well,
reach RJ Barrett status where he at right now too?
no,
I
the
would have taken
reason
him
why
over
I would have
RJ
took
Barrett.
Miller
Mind you,
Okay,
now
okay.
personally.
remember that
Hold on,
we
hold on,
talking
purple baby
about
talking.
That's funny.
Keep going, Purple.
RJ Barrett's season at Duke
Yes.
versus Brandon
Yes.
Miller's season at I keep about to say Oklahoma at Alabama.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, RJ Barrett was a better prospect. He been number one in his high school draft, not high school draft, and his coming out of high school, he been number one for like
yeah.
2 years. Even as a junior, he been number one. And you
I
telling me
would have taken
after
him.
him
Yes, I
playing
would
with
have.
Zion, and mind you, we look at that Duke team and we see Zion, but RJ Barrett really been the one hooping. He really
Nah,
been the one who
hell
looked
no.
more
I
like
don't
a
agree
pro.
with you there.
Like
He was
No,
hooping, but he wasn't the one.
He
No,
wasn't the
not
one.
the one.
He
He been
wasn't
like
the one.
he looked more pro ready, like he can be in a pro offense at Duke
He was
than
the
Zion been.
third
Oh yeah,
version
for
on that
sure.
team.
No, he
He
was
was
a
the
beast.
third version on that team, though.
No, he
Yeah.
wasn't the third. That not at all. He was he was the number one option on the team. So no
no.
panic is right in the sense. Duke is my squad. They
I
ran.
disagree
Hey,
with
Hey,
listen,
that.
Duke my
every
squad
I
too.
disagree with that
time
one.
out. Let me please let me breathe real quick because Duke is my squad and I watch every game of these niggas. Especially this team. Bro, I used to get pissed about that. Like, why do they keep running everything through RJ Barrett when Zion is the man? Because to me, I never thought RJ Barrett should have been number one coming out of high school. I thought Zion was that dude. And
Right.
same thing with Duke. So that shit used to piss me off how much Coach K ran through RJ Barrett. But it was just that Zion, he got his money off of the rebounds, blocks, steals.
Yes.
They didn't have to run plays through him. They ran plays through RJ Barrett and Cam Reddish. He was their third option.
Yep.
Well,
Yes. Yes.
I thought Cam Reddish
Yes.
was better than Barrett, so
Yes.
So at Duke, could RJ Barrett get
But
his
you
own
see, that
shot?
ain't true, right? Purple baby.
yeah.
Could
But what
could
does that
RJ
say about
Barrett get his own?
RJ though?
Could
Like,
could RJ?
RJ just developed. RJ just developed
So he
into
couldn't get his own shot in
having
college.
20 years. Huh?
what you
He
say?
couldn't get his own shot in college.
Who?
RJ Barrett.
Yes, for sure.
I'm not saying he couldn't get his own shot because Miller could get his own shot. That's not
Yeah,
what I'm
he could
saying.
get his own shot in college.
I'm saying
Hey,
looking
listen,
at
a
both of
lot
them
of the
game.
players that come into the
I'm
draft can get
saying
their own shot
looking
in
at both
college.
of
It's
them
just the
game.
NBA.
I would draft Miller
Me
over
too.
RJ.
I would too.
Okay, that's
I mean that's
No,
an
I'm pro
opinion, and I
Miller.
mean shit. I
I'm
can't
pro
say
right.
I'm
I
Miller.
wrong for
like.
y'all.
Yeah, I don't argue people's opinion. That's your opinion. You go with it.
What
I'm
about
pro Miller.
over Marvin Bagley that went number 2?
Man, y'all gotta
See,
understand. Like, listen,
remember
Purple, let
that.
me say this
No,
real quick.
yeah,
Y'all gotta stop looking at what they turn out to and look at their
right.
season leading up to the draft.
Correct. Because Marvin
Sometimes,
Bagley was a beast.
Yeah, like
whenever
shit,
you
them boy
get
been
too many,
going off.
Marvin Bagley. Listen,
And
Marvin
remind you
Bagley's
now, like
year
Brandon
was.
Miller come up short at the biggest moment in the college season.
but
These
RJ
other players we naming,
also
they ain't going through that. Darius
Marvin
Garland is
Bagley,
hooping
They
in
bro.
high
also
Bums
had a
college.
now.
more
They're bums
solid
now.
team.
They're bums
Again,
now.
They also had a
Yeah,
more
Alabama
solid
got a
team.
good team outside of Brandon Miller.
Yeah.
for sure they
Huh?
did.
Not compared to
And
that Duke team. Not compared to
no,
that Duke
no,
No, no,
team.
no.
hell
But what
no,
I'm saying
Not
is,
hell
compared to that
no,
Duke team.
what I'm saying is,
not at all.
that team in Alabama already been good without Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller did put them over to be a better team. But when we see him getting these big moments, like I always say, go look at his games against ranked teams. He always came up small. Joey, you say disappear. He's the real disappear man.
Bro,
He
that
is.
don't mean nothing. There's players that didn't even
I
do
know.
good in the tournament. That's nice now, bro.
No,
No,
that's
it ain't
true.
just the
That's
tournament.
true.
It ain't
But
just
what
the
I'm saying
tournament
is, when
though.
you look at all these players we naming,
He
their season
dominated.
leading up to the NBA draft versus hers, he looks like he can't get it done. Like he's a role player versus a Darius Garland coming into the league versus a RJ Barrett versus a Zion, even a DeAndre Hunter.
Bro, what are you basing
I
that
didn't
off?
see DeAndre Hunter
Really, his
in
college?
college.
Really,
I
he
didn't see
dominated
him in
college.
college.
He
Honestly,
dominated
I ain't
college.
too much
Hunter
DeAndre Hunter
was all
myself.
defense.
He been solid.
Hunter was more defense than offense, and he built his whole legacy on defense. So
Who
he
went
didn't.
after him?
Atlanta.
Darius Garland.
Who?
Hunter
Garland
is
went
with
after him.
Atlanta.
Yeah, Garland. And I think Obi Toppin right after that.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
yeah,
no,
fair.
no. Jared Culliver and then Kobe White. Like, come on, bro. What the hell is this?
Yes.
Okay, so if you telling me he would have gone 6 or 7 in the 2019 draft, you're proving my point.
No, I didn't say 6 or 7. I said 3.
But
I didn't
I
even see
wouldn't.
RJ Barrett.
Okay,
I didn't see RJ Barrett.
even let's say in some strange world he is better than Darius Garland and Hunter coming out. He still wouldn't be top 3, like I saying.
Yes, I think he could be better than RJ Barrett coming out.
No,
I don't.
Saying he could be better is different than who
Okay,
coming
he
into
is
the
gonna
league.
be better than my
Who would have
fault. He
been?
is gonna be better.
I'm telling you, they would never have drafted Brandon Miller in front of RJ Barrett.
Yes, they would have.
I think they would have.
Listen, let me tell you something about RJ Barrett.
Yes, they
RJ Barrett come
listen,
from.
listen, we about
RJ Barrett come from.
Who's
Who's that talking?
Hold on, flight
That's
though.
flight.
Nash
Flight
is
talking.
whatever.
Y'all don't have to get off, but I'm about to shut it down. Y'all can still stay on the stream now. Y'all can still talk when it's shut down. It's
Yeah,
Flight Sports, man. Peace and love.
we can still talk in the back.
Y'all can stay on.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.